Yo, what up?
I didn't report this to the police last night because I wasn't sure of DoorDash's process for like SA or if this was even reportable to the police in New York State because he was in his home.
AskAlawyer.com, Instacart, or even a cop, Olivia Henderson was a 23-year-old DoorDash driver. She was delivering food when she encountered a male customer who was naked, passed out, partially naked anyway, unconscious on his couch due to him being drunk. A lot of us need to lose weight. I need to lose weight. And, late night snacking is probably one way to avoid, if you avoid late night snacking. And if you order DoorDash, you should stay conscious for it. But if you're so fucking drunk that you can't eat your food, don't order it. So that sounds kind of logical, doesn't it? So Olivia proceeded to film the passed out customer and post it to her TikTok, claiming this encounter was a sexual assault. What are you doing, Olivia? The following videos came from Olivia as she posts her assault.
This chick is such a dumb bitch.
Tells the story. She's got like 70 million views. And I guess we're going to give her some more views because people are going to say, oh, I got to see this shit, right? You know, if you encounter somebody that's naked and you're a DoorDash driver, shouldn't you try to respect their privacy? And maybe they're dead. Maybe they're dead. Maybe they're in a medical situation that, maybe they passed out because they did drugs, or maybe they had a heart condition, or maybe, what are you doing taking advantage of the situation?
That's fucked up.
No, what's fucked up is her posting it. We live in a society where we take advantage of each other too much. She's taking advantage of a situation for her pleasure, for her clout, for her bullshit, right? And she probably made a lot of money off this. Who knows? I don't even know how you make money off of TikTok. Where's our brother's keeper? And I don't really do a whole lot of videos about positive things where somebody does it. And the reason I don't is because I'm a criminal defense lawyer and I talk about crimes. But in all fairness, don't you think we should be our brother's keeper? Why not put a fucking blanket over him and make sure he's breathing and not post that shit on the fucking internet? Or post, I encountered this person today. I'm not going to show you who he is, but this is what happened. I put a blanket on him. He was breathing. I made sure he was okay. But be your brother's keeper. Take care of one another, not exploit one another. So let's take a look at another one of these stupid.
Hope all is well. You ended your stream abruptly a few hours ago. Did you injure yourself?
Yeah, my left quad that I hurt a week earlier just flared up again. Thanks for the donation, Ivory. James Wilk just stocked up his own protein powder. You're going to try it. It's really good with coffee. I've never tried it. Maybe I'll order some in the future.
Clips. And now she claims this is an assault. First of all, what's the definition of an assault?
Happy Thanksgiving, dipshit.
All right. Well, thanks for the donation, dipshit.
Assault is the immediate apprehension of bodily harm. A sexual assault is the immediate apprehension of an unwanted sexual touching. And it can take a lot of forms. It can take the form of, forcible. That's why you have Crim Sex 1 all the way to Crim Sex 5. Crim Sex 5 in Minnesota is the least culpable. And then all the way up to like things done with force. So there's a whole wide range. You walk in on a naked person, that is not a sexual assault. But let's just hear what she has to say. And I haven't seen this, so let's see what she has to say.
Here's an update for anybody who's interested. I commented, but my comment's getting buried in my comment section. I reported this to DoorDash over 12 hours ago, and they're supposed to call me back, which is strange because I've reported a couple less serious incidents before, and they called me back within 1 to 2 hours.
Dude, it is insane how women just lose their mind if they see a penis. Just absolutely go retarded. Who the fuck cares?
those reports. So I don't know what's going on there, but I didn't report this to the police last night because I wasn't sure of DoorDash's process.
Kenny, $22, some trash for you to suffer watching.
Iced coffee this bad! There's no caramel in my caramel swirl! Well, hey! Get it off! Get it off! Alright, I'm leaving! How do you...
That's pretty good. Okay. That's weird. No, I've seen this. Yeah, dog has trouble. Oh, poor little sausage dog. And the cat just walks. Cats are good at that.
How to say, bring your fat ass to the gym in Chinese.
First time talking about veganism openly on my social media. Didn't write a script or anything, just kinda yapped about why I went vegan. Spoiler, it is because of you.
Alright, well thanks Sky, I'll take a look at that in a minute. Thanks for the donation, dude.
快去健身房！快去健身房！快去健身房！快去健身房！
Okay. Thanks for the donation, Kenny.
Vegan on Thanksgiving. And I finally got us to do a full vegan Thanksgiving. I had to cook all the food, but I didn't mind that at all because look at this fucking spread. Turkey that was regular super firm tofu earlier in the day. Anyway, it got me thinking, like, why did I originally go vegan? I've never really talked about that. It really goes back all the way to 2016, actually. I didn't fully commit then, but this is when I first got introduced to the idea. I was watching Conor McGregor highlights on YouTube, as one does, and I saw this little dude, Vegan Gains. So I clicked on his channel. He was debating someone. Basically, he broke it down in this way. Why do you think it's wrong to hurt humans? Like, what about humans makes you value them in a way that it's wrong to hurt, murder, exploit, etc.? It came down to their conscious experience. Your ability to perceive reality is the reason why it's bad to hurt you. And then it's like, okay, well, animals have that too. They don't have it to the same extent, but they do have it. So then that paired with the knowledge that you don't have to eat animals anymore. We live in 2025. Like, all the resources are fully available for you to live a healthy life on a plant-based diet. So really the question isn't whether you're going to eat animals to survive or eat animals for nutrition. It's whether it's acceptable to end their experience for the pleasure of eating them. Because really that's all it comes down to at the end of the day is convenience and sensory pleasure. And in my mind, my 15 minutes of sensory pleasure from consuming their flesh is not more valuable than their entire existence. So simply put, that's why I went vegan. I don't know, hopefully y'all seeing me eat quick, healthy meals all the time that are plant-based kind of pushes you more towards a plant-based lifestyle. At the end of the day, none of y'all will fully go vegan because of me unless I do tell you the logic behind it. So maybe it's something I need to start talking about more. I hope.
Based. Thanks for the donation again, Sky.
How many more eps do you think he had in the tank? Why the fuck do people even upload this shit?
That is fucking baffling. I have no idea, dude. It's crazy how people literally have no idea at all. Thanks for the donation, though, Killing Titan. Meme, come I up, talked about you in a stream today. I want a link. I guess. I have no idea who that is.
Says for like SA, or if this was even reportable to the police in New York State because he was in his home. But after so many people...
He never touched you. He was unconscious. There's no assault. There's no volitional act that he did towards you. He's just laying there with his pecker hanging out. I mean, so what? You know, and here's the other thing. You know, a penis is not an evil thing. You know, it can't just get up and chase you down a hallway. You know, just because we have one doesn't mean that we're going to use it against you. I mean, give me a break.
People told me to report it to the police. I did. And I called the non-emergency line, and they sent a police officer over to speak to me in person and watch the video that I have.
Was it okay for her to call the cops? I think.
Women are fucking retarded. Like, dude, when you have chicks like this who think they're a victim of a sexual assault because they saw a naked dude passed out drunk, like, how in the fuck are you going to take, like, any rape allegations seriously? Like, do they know what rape is? Do they know what sex is? She literally thinks she's a victim of a crime because she saw somebody naked. Like, it's just fucking retarded.
I think so, but not because she was sexually assaulted. Because do a welfare check on this guy because he's passed out and I don't know if he's okay or not. He ordered DoorDash and now he's passed out on his couch. I put a blanket on him to cover him up. I think there's something might be wrong with him. That would be the brotherly love thing to do.
And then he asked me to email it to him, and he asked me if I want to press charges, like what do I want to come from this? And I said, yeah, if there are charges to press, I would prefer that because I don't want this to happen to somebody else again. And he understood that, the police officer, and then he went back out to his car, and then he came back to me and he told me, like, this is pretty much verbatim. It's not verbatim, but like it's the point that he said. He said he's not sure if that there are charges that can be pressed at this point because he was inside of his house, and specifically he said it's not like he came up to his door with it out or like his window with it out or whatever, but it's like, come on now.
That's evil. Oh my god. Oh, wiener. Look at his wiener. Oh my god. You break. You know, I mean, get over yourself. Have you never seen, touched, tasted, or felt a cock? It's not that big a deal. Pushing you down and forcing it on you, that's a big deal. Or getting you drunk and doing things without your consent, that's a big deal. You coming into an apartment with a passed out dude trying to deliver his DoorDash, here you go, see you later. Run away.
Like, how likely is it that it's cold outside? It's pretty chilly. Your ceiling fan is on. You got all your lights on in your house. You got your front door open, right? You just ordered DoorDash 15 minutes ago. And within 15 minutes of ordering DoorDash and it getting delivered to your front door, you're asleep on the couch with your pants and your underwear to your ankles, your front door wide open, your lights on, it's freezing outside. Like, come on now. That is voyeurism. That is...
No, it's not. Voyeurism is when you peek in somebody's fucking window.
That is exhibitionism.
Could be exhibitionism. If he was conscious.
That was something against my own will that I was fulfilling for that man.
He's unconscious.
Get over yourself.
Oh, and I forgot to say, the police officer said he was going over to the residence of that DoorDash customer to speak to him and see what his side of the story is, what he has to say about what was going on with him. And then another major factor that we're not even considering is that man lives in a duplex. In that video, you'll see another door next to his. That's another apartment unit right next to his. That could be a family. Anybody could walk out. See, listen, if I wasn't the target...
It could be another sex offender. I mean, you know, in which case it would be community service. Give me a break.
You still shouldn't be whacking it off, whether you're drunk or under the influence of any substances, with your door wide open regardless, because anybody could walk out and get assaulted from that, seeing what you're doing on...
I did have a case one time. My client, really nice guy, nicest guy you'd ever want to meet, sitting on his...
Fartskins are Jewish bioweapons used solely for mass immigration and infiltration and deconstruction of the Western world and its culture. Bioweapons, Jewish. Jewish bioweapons.
Okay, that's good to know. Thanks for the donation 3.
Steps right in front of his front door, completely naked, manipulating his genitals, cuffing the carrot, boxing the clown, jerking the gherkin. And, people are walking by, and there is something to that. But he was conscious. It was a volitional act. He was a veteran who had PTSD, and he just, for the life of him, couldn't figure out why the hell he was doing that. And we got him a little bit of help, and we took care of it and kept it off his record. But he didn't try to hurt anybody.
Your couch. It could be a child. Anybody could come up on your porch and see that.
Well, a kid's got to learn somehow, right? No, I'm joking.
Anybody walking by on the sidewalk and accidentally getting a glance would be a victim.
A glance blow. I have bystander trauma, Your Honor. Give me a break. So, if I see a car accident and I'm a bystander, do I have a claim for negligent infliction of emotional distress because I'm a bystander? I happen to see some. Give me a break. We have a knee-jerk victim mentality in this country that drives me a little bit insane.
I love how niggas be like, if you can't do 5 perfect pull-ups your bench press doesn't mean shit and you aren't really strong. I've seen plenty of skinny dudes that can do pull-ups but can't even bench 225. I guess they aren't strong, right? I can do 8.
It's always weak twinks that will bring something like that up, where I can do more pull-ups than you, so I'm actually stronger. It's all a cope, and it's usually really short people, too. Napoleon complex and such. Thanks for the donation, though, Killian Titan.
I'm all for protecting victims' rights. Like the Epstein files. We're going to do a kind of a longer version of that motherfucker. And there's some people that are going to have to answer some questions. Like Bill Clinton was on that plane 26 times, called the Lolita Express. I mean, I thought it was powerful when you saw those 10 women come forward. This was me then, and I was, sexually assaulted back then. Powerful. They should be protected. You walk by and you see some guy with his dick out. I mean, get out of here. It's annoying. I mean, you're not, what are you, scarred for life? Oh, I've been in therapy for 14 years because I accidentally saw half of his balls. Give me a break. Ugh, don't get me started already.
Hey guys, so DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after.
Great, yay! Who gives a shit? If you're so victimized.
She took a fucking video of a naked dude and uploaded it to the internet, and then she's surprised.
You know what true victims do? They don't want to fucking tell anybody. Honestly, they don't want, they feel embarrassed. They feel it's their fault. They feel like, I don't even want to tell my mom. I don't want to, and I have to go to a courtroom and get on a stand and tell everybody this? No. They don't post shit all over TikTok. Give me a break.
Days after I reported my sexual assault. Hey guys, I just lost my job, and they won't tell me why.
Do you have to really figure out why? You posted a video of a customer online. I think that's enough, whether he's got his dick out or not.
They're supposed to send an email immediately after deactivation providing you the reason why and a link to appeal, and they didn't. So I contacted support, and they made me sit on the phone with them for 50 minutes just to tell me that they can't tell me the reason why, and I have to just go ahead and appeal without knowing why. So my chances of getting my account back, they have my money in that account.
Clav reacts to Coach Greg's second video on him. Also an ig meme.
That.
Mog's dad?
Not according to the looks maxing guidebook. Yours is actually chopped to shit, son, but this one Mog's.
But I like how mine's a little asymmetrical. It's got wabi-sabi.
Holy cope, son, you can't be throwing around made-up words.
Wabi-sabi fits into white pill, Dad. It's celebrating the beauty and what's flawed. Like someone with a recessed jaw, or someone with negative canthal tilt who still looks good.
They might look good, but line them up next to Marlin in front of some fine shits and they're picking Marlin every time.
But sometimes it's the small imperfections that make you love something even more. So what if this rose is under 6 foot, a little too wide? It's got more personality than the ascended ones.
Uh-huh, but the world doesn't care about that. You see, reality's still gonna hit.
This one.
All right, thanks for the donation, nigga. We'll watch this.
That's a really good one.
What is going on right now? How is this not
Fuck
body
you.
dysmorphia? Coach,
How does dutasteride give you a smaller nose? You're capping? Well, dutasteride gives you a smaller nose because it downregulates your sebaceous glands, and sebaceous filaments are quite literally responsible for 30 to 40% of the bulbicity of your nose. So don't ask me motherfucking stupid questions that you know nothing about. If I tell you something, don't ask why, because the why, you know, it's too long for me to explain to you. I don't have a reason to do so. Just understand that I'm telling you the truth, okay?
and we're catching up with Clavicular, who's about to get a double jaw surgery.
I need to pee. I'll be right back. Just gonna go pee pee.
The things that this man is opening up to, it's just unbelievable. And so let's get right into it.
Because I knew,
Oh, he's being honest. He's unbelievable.
you know, your looks play into a role of, are you going to get hired, right? How people treat you, just in terms of how I was getting tipped.
All
I mean,
studies.
how much does this not sound like a woman? And so I need
Dude, okay, yo, this guy who's, having a talking point that's literally supported by, research that is extremely extensive.
By the way, this is coming from Greg, who's like a pro bodybuilder, has taken how much steroids, clearly cares about how he looks. His whole business and his millions of dollars that he has is predicated based on how he looks. And then he's saying, oh, you sound like a woman, talking about how looks matter. Like, what?
Oh, this guy sounds like a woman. It just seems a little bit ridiculous for you to say that. And that's just, what are you talking about?
old
Logical
titanium
fallacy.
implant surgery on my cheeks and a nose job so that I'll get more money and tips when I'm at the restaurant.
I'm going to have to fly to Istanbul. I would argue.
What? Are you serious? Is that what you just said? so that you can get more money at the restaurant. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're working as a server at a restaurant, it's not the best use of your time. But if we know that's true, okay, that you're going to be treated better and make more money based on your looks level, you would just apply that same thing to even YouTube. Greg, okay, Greg, if you were better looking, maybe you would make an additional 20%, you know, which might be marginal to a server, but to you who's scamming people for millions of dollars on cookbooks, that could be quite significant. So thank you for the gifted sub, Minch.
So I'll get more money and tips when I'm at the restaurant.
So
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for the gifted. Bood,
I would argue that Italian surgeons are better, but sometimes they won't do some of the more black-pilled extreme movements.
Does this not remind you of Zac Efron? Was Zac Efron not already extremely attractive?
Zac Efron got botched with soft tissue modifications, filler, Botox, regular med spa shit that anyone could walk into a clinic and have that done within the day.
And then what did he do to his...
Yep, all jaw and not the surgery we're doing. This is all filler.
What if...
I'm not entirely sure if that's all filler, because his face like permanently changed. If that was filler, I would expect his face to go like back to normal.
After he gets his surgery, it's botched. How often do we see beautiful girls go and get hot dog lips? They start...
Who's that? You know, you're advocating for suboptimal surgery that I literally agree with you with. If you actually watch my content and saw kind of the way that I talked about filler, the way that I talked about all this, you know, you would realize that we're on the same page. I don't think filler is good. I don't think Botox is good. You know what I mean?
They look great.
Yeah, and didn't your ex-girlfriend have
first time they
the
get
same
filler?
lips?
They even look a little bit better.
His own girlfriend right now has filler, by the way. Like, clearly, obviously, blatantly uses filler. Let me see. There was a photo or video she was in where like it was pretty fucking obvious. She had some sort of filler. So I remember her lips were swollen up. Yeah, I think you can kind of see it there. Face is kind of covered. Yeah, there. You can see how her lips are swollen. So, yeah, his own girlfriend has gotten filler.
Dare I say. But eventually, one thing leads to the next, and they've got hot dogs on their lips, their cheeks are out to here, and their breasts weigh 10 pounds each. What happened? How did they go from A to Z so quickly? And so the temptation to continue to get cosmetic surgery, once you've started, it's real. And how many people don't think that all of those people have body dysmorphia? It's when you look in the mirror and you don't like the reflection that you see back. I'm certainly not gay in saying that I think that this is a very attractive man, far above average. And he's 6'2" to boot. And yet he wants to get limb lengthening surgery and he needs more cheekbones.
He wants to get better. He wants to improve. It's like, yeah, you know, I'm just not a content person. You know, even if I am attractive, to you, maybe if I'm tall, to you, well, which isn't very hard to do, Greg, I'm just someone who's always going to push the limits and want to do better, okay? You know, your physique, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, you became a pro as a natural athlete, and then you still decided to do steroids after. Why? Okay? I thought you had a good physique, Greg. Coach Greg, you looked amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he is being a hypocrite. If he was going to make an argument against, like, some of these procedures, it would just be, like, the risk of him looking worse or having some sort of horrible side effect that would make it not worth it is just way too high. Like, that would be the argument to make. But yeah, like, Greg's being a complete hypocrite. He looked great as a natural, so why would you go on steroids? Like, it's because you wanted to be better.
You know, before you hopped on roids, you did plenty of shows, you had an incredible look, and yet you still decided to do steroids. Greg, why? It doesn't make sense. I don't understand what's happening. Why would you do something like that? That's so insane to me. You know what I mean? So, we both have similar mentalities. This is just something that you've never been exposed to. I think a lot of what we do is very similar. Just, you're either being a hypocrite or you don't really know anything about it.
Surgery is called a Bimax. It's a double jaw surgery, right? So they're going to make an osteotomy in the upper jaw, my maxilla, and advance it forward, and the lower jaw.
And so is he trying to look like Giga Chad?
Yes. Yeah, that's what Giga Chad looks like right there. That's the personification.
Like, does he need to perpetually have a resting bitch face with the hunter eyes and the jaw forward and the protruding
Okay, we're not gonna have this like the normies thinking that they know anything.
cheek implants?
What I want to say to that is extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures.
Right.
And the extraordinary times are just how hypergamous women are nowadays.
Out of 100 people, I bet all of them are going to rate you as an 8, 9, or a 10. And so let's take the average.
Okay, but people don't know how to rate, do they, Greg? People have no fucking idea how to rate, and we've seen that across the board with, those Jubilee videos, people rating themselves. You ask the average guy what his rating is, and they'll say 10. You ask the average girl, they'll say fucking 11 out of 10. No one knows how to actually place themselves in terms of percentiles. And the same people that are rating themselves as 10 out of 10s get no matches on Tinder. They haven't had sex in 2 years. It doesn't really know.
Of 100 people, I bet all of them are going to rate you as an 8, 9, or a 10. And so let's take the average. He's a 9. 99th percentile looks, it's not enough because women are hypergamous by nature. And so when they're with me...
How am I in 99th percentile? That doesn't even make any sense.
I mean, I'm only at the 99th percentile. What happens when the guy comes along and he's 6'6"? What if he has more muscle? And what if he has a better tan? If that man can come along and take your woman, let him have her. He did you a favor. If you're with someone and you're in love and someone can come along and steal them from you, they weren't yours to begin with.
Who is making this claim? You will have no one to begin with, no one to be stolen unless you reach a certain looks criteria that is ever evolving. By the day, it's becoming more and more, of a competitive dating market, and the floor.
Dude, people are like fatter and uglier than ever. Like it's, if anything, it's easier these days.
Or gets fucking even higher. The ceiling, gets raised every day. So I don't know what we're talking about here with, if you've got a girl and someone's able to come along and take them, motherfuckers, unless you're, a certain fucking criteria that's out of this world, there's going to be no one to steal.
And so let it happen. You're going to convince me that this man is getting his jaw surgery to be forward and the protruding cheekbones and the nose surgery, all so that he can keep his woman because of hypergamy.
Who said that?
This is ridiculous.
Did I say that? I didn't even say that.
I thought he had a strong self-esteem.
I didn't.
Clearly,
bro,
he does not.
Bro's making up random stuff.
Mepsigram being swooned off of her feet from some 6'2" Chad.
And the men who are not at the top percentiles are left with nothing, right? Because everyone's extremely sexually promiscuous.
Not all women are extremely sexually promiscuous.
Really? Is that true? Not all women are extremely sexually promiscuous? Well, if we just looked at some data on, the amount of women across the society who are virgins after the age of 21, I think you would be quite shocked, that it's only 1 in 5, roughly. So,
same with men. I don't know what that has to do with hypergamy or like being very sexual. Like, yeah, it's normal to have sexual relationships. I think the average age in which people lose their virginity is usually between 16 and 17. It's like slightly higher for women, like by a few months or something, but yeah, the average age where somebody loses their virginity for both men and women, it's 16 to 17. Like, that's a really bad argument.
You make that claim, not all women. How many of those women are giving their mouths to every guy? Probably adds another 10%. So maybe if you're lucky, and those are all self-reported bullshit studies anyway. So, you know, if you're lucky, maybe 5-10% of women at the age of 21 remain good candidates for you to make as your long-term partner. And, you know, only the top 20% of men really, and it gets even closer to 10% every day, are actually able to sexually compete. So what the fuck are we even talking about? Yeah.
Not all women are thoughts are 304s. Not
Wrong. You just have a different definition of what a 304 is than me, who's a little bit more logical. So anyone who's got one body, maybe to Coach Greg, that's not a 304, but to me, that's a bitch who just decided she couldn't wait, couldn't have her morals in check, got cracked by her.
Are you serious? What? That is insane. Like, actually insane.
Her first boyfriend, that's still a whore to me, okay? Because I hold myself to high standards. Why wouldn't I? Just because something is normal in a society, you know, doesn't make it right, okay? And I know that's going to sound insane. Oh, one body? You know, that's not a whore? Well, maybe not in today's world, but in the world that, you know, your parents grew up in, their parents before that.
Totally, utterly untrue. Where is he getting this from? You can look at the stats. It's hardly changed. I think if you go, like, back to... like, whatchamacall, like, early 20th century, I think, like, you'll see a weird dip where women had more sexual partners and then it went down again. This is insane, though.
That's a sexually promiscuous woman, okay? So I don't care. I really do not care if this thing...
Like, for real, where's he getting the idea that women never wanted to have sex? And, like, they were virgins until they were, like, 30.
Is become normal for girls to have 1, 2, 3 bodies. Oh, that's a good girl. That's not that bad. You should see the rest of girls. I don't want to see the rest.
Like, by the way, what's funny, too, is these people want it both ways. So this guy wants to fuck around with a bunch of girls, date, you know, be able to have, like, sex. I don't know what type of relationship he's looking for right now, but let's say he wants a serious relationship. He's probably going to want to have sex after, like, a couple weeks of dating. Like, what would be the point of dating a woman if you're not ever going to have sex? So he expects women to have sex with him, even when he's in a serious relationship. But then they're whores if they do that. It's fucking retarded.
Rest of girls, and I don't want to see her either, quite frankly, man. I don't want to deal with that.
Not all women are like a Cash's wife.
I've been rated what's called a high tier normie, is what a lot of people say.
Claps, mom. Yeah, great fucking correlation.
So the scale is low tier normie, mid tier normie, high tier normie, Chad light, and Chad.
What exactly is that? A normie high tier sounds but it's not quite a Chad, a Giga Chad, an Adam. What is going on?
Women will.
It's really not that hard to follow, Coach Greg.
They find average 50th percentile.
It's really not that hard.
It's a 7.
Average is not a 7. A 7's above average. Average is a
What?
5.
Correct.
We all know this.
Correct.
People are placing me high tier.
No, well, not everyone knows that, though. That's the issue. Not everyone knows
Normie
that.
has a little bit above average, between a 6 to a 6.5.
Does that mean he's rating himself a 6 1/4? I guess the rest of us are all negative numbers. What is going on right now? This is not a 6. And so, by clinical definition, how is this not body dysmorphia? The average person thinks he's an 8, a 9, or 10. He thinks he's a 6 or a 6.5.
But if the surgery went wrong, if the surgery was botched, like, what would happen? What's the worst case scenario?
Nothing.
The worst case scenario is an infection.
No, the worst case scenario is you could die. The second worst...
Okay, come on. The mortality rates of double jaw surgery, someone look that up, okay? Is it, like, even even 0.5%.
Scenarios, you could be disfigured. You could be in pain for the rest of your life.
How would you differentiate what the average person thinks of attraction?
So it's a huge numbers thing. It's really autistic, but everything is about numbers, right, and measurements.
No, I really appreciate the tism in him. I'm really about the numbers and the stats. I mean, I'm spending like 4 hours looking at stats last night. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like the worst case scenario is you could die from steroid usage. What's the mortality rate of steroids versus double jaw?
racing and so on. I really love this, but I think he
Yeah, fair point.
just got it wrong.
There's all these different numbers, and then it gets you what's called a harmony score, right? So you take all these
No, I'm not wrong, okay?
different measurements, you do the math, you check it out on your face, and then we're going to get a percentage harmony score.
0.2%, right, yeah.
You're either hot or you're not. It's not a measurement. It's not the distance from here to there and there. And
It
this
is.
and
It
that.
quite literally is.
It's everything in one and in a quarter second, 0.1 of a second, hot or not.
Right.
I don't need a measurement, a ruler. I don't
Well, what do you think that they're evaluating in that 0.1 seconds?
need to feed my appearance into ChatGPT to know if somebody's good looking or not. And remember,
No, because all of these ratios are based on, subconscious biases, Greg. It's just, this is science that you don't know about. These are territories that are uncharted for you, but they're not uncharted for me and the rest of the community. Okay? What do you exactly think that people are looking at when they see a face? We could quite clearly tell if we were to edit this guy's eyes for their part that he gets worse looking. And that's something that's easily calculable. Why did he get worse looking when adjustments were made? Oh, his eyes got further apart and his, ESR changed. It's all like very, very easy to calculate.
beauty is subjective. It's in
No, it
the
isn't.
eye of the
No, it
beholder.
isn't.
And so what's strikingly beautiful for one person might be ugly for the next.
So
No,
in terms of
nope.
the numbers thing, the closest person we get to perfection is Matt Bomer.
Isn't it interesting?
That's
that
not even Matt
Superman,
Bomer.
who Is
That's Henry
exactly what
Cavill.
Clavicular looks like, is the perfect man according to science.
That's not even the right guy. Bro didn't even use the right fucking example.
94
How do you even mess that up? It's not like I just said, it's not like I showed a picture and you got it wrong. I quite literally said the guy's name, Matt Bomer. How do you even mix that up,
percent on
Matt Boner? Is that what he said?
Bro didn't even use the right fucking example.
94
How do you even mess that up? It's not like I just said, it's not like I showed a picture and you got it wrong. I quite literally said the guy's name, Matt Bomer. How do you even...
Matt Bomer. Honestly, he looks a little gay to me. I think Henry Cavill's a more handsome dude. He just seems like a little too gay and pencil neckish. So, looks are subjective.
Mix that up,
percent on the looks maxing scale.
The thing is,
Oh,
we're playing a game and
Bro,
trying to get a
okay,
result,
the editor messed it up, okay.
right? So I know that looks
That's
are going to
fine.
help me maintain my relationship.
That's quite
more.
fine.
I personally only care about
Myron-
my looks.
Myron
I don't
Hall,
really care about her looks. It's not so important to me. Do you ever think that other people might have the same thought?
Wrong. You're completely wrong. Okay. Yeah, I care about my looks because I realize that women are not exactly great people. They're very hypergamous. They're not humble anymore. They have no souls essentially. So, and I'm aware of this. Whereas I'm able to be a little bit more loving, a little bit more realistic with the world. And this is the way that men are. Okay, men are able to realize that what they have is great. What they have is enough. Whereas women are really just never content. So that's why it's a little bit different for men.
This is yourself. You're thinking looks aren't
Yeah, that is true. That is the way women think.
the be all end all. But that's just me. Women are hypergamous.
Real.
But what if they're not?
What if?
Yeah, they're hypergamous
Well, it's not really up for debate whether or not women are hypergamous. This is like a very proven thing, and it's very researched.
to an extent. They don't want some broke ass. They don't want a guy who's 5'2". They don't want some
Don't marry any tellers. This one is insane, Richard. Husband snaps after catching wife cheating. Okay, we can take a look.
Stop the vehicle! Bring the army!
Following a domestic dispute, Fresno police respond to a man in crisis who has reached his breaking point. As tensions rise, officers call for peace, but an ultimatum sends the night spiraling toward tragedy.
The body camera doesn't pick up emotion. It doesn't pick up.
Yeah, VG, I agree. If I'm talking to any girl that I'm interested in expecting to have sex with them eventually, but then some of them hit me with this BS like they don't wanna feel like a slut, like who cares, I'll gladly ditch them.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing too. Playing with Fire put this really well. Women are the gatekeepers of sex, but men are the gatekeepers for relationships. So women are as hungry for relationships as men are hungry for sex. So if every man is gatekeeping a relationship by saying we can't have a relationship unless we have sex, that's obviously going to force women to have sex in the relationship. So it's just like I don't know why anybody fucking cares about this virginity bullshit. Like, I can see if a chick is like crazy and like, you know, has more sexual encounters than a porn star. Like, yeah, no shit. Like, that's a huge red flag. But when you're talking about, you know, by the time you're like, you know, in your mid 20s, maybe like you've had, you know, 3, 4 sexual encounters, it's like, okay, that's sort of normal, you know. Thanks for the donation, though, Anonymous.
Kept the level of fear that you feel. The only way that this incident was going to end was how it did.
The following is based on official police records, and some of the footage has never been seen before until now. Just after 3 a.m. on November 4th, 2020.
Drunk or high?
He's drunk. He just walked out of my apartment.
Do you have access to a car?
Yes, he does. He has a Tesla, and he just walked out with my bottle of tequila. Oh my God! I don't know if he made me grab something from the kitchen when he grabbed the bottle. I don't want to walk outside. I don't want to see if he did.
And don't keep yourself safe. Help on the way, okay?
I think he's getting into his Tesla right now. I see him.
Okay.
We've been separated since February.
Okay.
And I've had a thing with this guy, and it was like the reason why we basically split up. And so he picked me up from Tower with my friends. And when we got here, I guess he was going through my phone, and he saw that I was still in contact with this other guy. And he took off, and then when I kind of like realized what was going on, I saw that he had gone, and I walked out, and then he walked in, and he grabbed a bottle of tequila. And then he said that he was going to him, and I don't think he wouldn't actually do it. I know
You don't
that
think
it
he
was
would?
all. No, he wouldn't.
Did he get physical with you at all tonight or anything?
No.
Try to keep eyes on it.
Like, disrespectful and
You guys decide. That's it.
But we don't want anybody to get hurt, Max.
With his wife.
please.
End.
Who are you? You ready for this? Hey, bro, don't do it. Dude, don't do it, bro. I'm telling you right now. Max.
Were you the one that was telling me, bro?
Max.
Talking about
Sky Director, he wanted to see you in the apartment. He's got scissors.
Hey, do what you wanted.
Get back.
We can talk it out.
No, we can't.
Why can't we talk it out? Do it for your daughter. Do it for your daughter. Stop, dude.
At least do your research.
Okay.
My daughter, I don't have a daughter.
Okay, then
I
I'll
wish I had
try.
a daughter, but this you
I
know,
need you.
school.
All right, guy, but I need you to realize.
Yeah, that guy. This is what I want to do
Then
to
just
him.
drop it.
But I'm going to
Just
do it to
drop
you
it.
or him. So you guys decide.
Drop it, dude. I'm telling you right now. Drop it. Don't do this. I don't want to shoot you.
No, it's done.
I don't want to
seen
shoot you. I do
It's
not.
done. This is what you wanted. Stop it. This is what you wanted.
2, we need units here. Go 3.
Pop it, dude.
Liz,
You ready for this?
I don't want to shoot you. Stop.
You don't want to shoot me. Then why the doing this?
Because you have a scissors, bro.
Then why doing this?
We came here just to check up on you.
Get back, bro. Show me. This is done. This is done.
Ma'am, sit down.
This is done.
Sit down.
No.
The most logical thing to do here would be to get that woman to leave and for them to retreat near the doorway and maybe like see if they don't have less than lethal weapons on them like a taser, wait for units to arrive with a taser, and like maybe if he, I don't know, like if he tries to kill himself or something, like whatever, but that would seem to be the most logical strategy. I don't know why they're telling that woman to stay there when she's clearly irritating him. And like they could just retreat and get the guy to relax.
You decided that. I gave you everything. I gave you everything. And this is how you
Yeah, like, this is insane. So this woman's triggering the fuck out of him because she cheated on him. Why aren't they telling her to leave? Why do they want this woman to be in a room where this guy is threatening to kill somebody with scissors and they might have to shoot? Like, it's fucking retarded. Like, are cops, like, just the dumbest fucking people on the planet?
Hey, come on, Max. We can talk this out, bro. No, we can't. My guy. No, we can't. No, we can't.
Come on.
We can't talk out.
Why
Was I talking
can't
to you or are you on the phone?
Max.
Was I talking to you?
It was me. Max, don't do this, brother.
You can't.
Don't do this, bro. I don't want to have to do this, okay?
You can't do it, my guy. This is gonna be a
Stop. Please.
Have you shot anybody before?
Max.
Have you shot anybody before? But have you shot anybody before?
Max, don't make me do this, brother.
Have you shot anybody before?
Max, don't make me do this. Max.
Backup arrives and takes position just outside the apartment door, with more officers on their way.
You do not know
It doesn't.
the struggles that I went for. Struggles that I cared about.
Yeah, I'm convinced cops are just some of the dumbest fucking people on the planet. So, why is there nobody with some less than lethal weapon? Like a taser, 40 Mike?
Backup arrives and takes position just outside the apartment door, with more officers on their way.
That's how you pay me?
Yeah, the one at gunpoint. It has the scissors in his right hand.
Stop, please, Max.
This is how it ends. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted.
Max.
This is what you wanted. Hey, by the way, my cousin, he works for Orange Cove. He's a sergeant out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, sorry you guys have to do this, but it's going to happen this way.
That's not true. She would not have to cut across the living room. We saw it. She could just leave.
Listen, if you don't want to talk to us, how about you talk to one of my other partners? How about that?
No, I don't want to talk to anyone.
Like, he's right over there. She could just leave.
Hey, look, my fate is sealed, my guy. My fate is sealed. I am rock bottom. There's absolutely nothing you're going to do here. It's either you give me that here right now, and I take his life, or you take my life. It's either his life, my life, or one of your guys.
He's not here, Max.
Exactly. So it's going to be my life, or one of you guys. That's it. That's all it's going to come down to. That's all it's going to come down to.
Can we talk?
No, we can't talk. Because I am done with this, dude. I have tried so goddamn hard, and especially for you. I understand. Especially
Oh, finally, they have an idea.
for you. I tried so hard. Where you going?
Wait. All right, I get that.
No,
All right.
you can go out that way. I'll let you go out that way.
You want to let me go out?
Yeah, I'll let you go out.
She has to come out with me, though.
No, I'm not gonna hurt her. That's my boy's mom. I'm not gonna hurt her.
Okay.
I'm not gonna hurt her.
Let her
You
go
don't
then.
worry about her.
Okay.
It's just, you wanna go out there with them? I want you guys to shoot me in the
No, I don't want to shoot you. That's the thing.
Go out there. No,
That's
you're
the
gonna
thing.
shoot me. You're gonna shoot me.
Please don't
Wait.
hurt him.
Stop. Hey, chill out. Chill out. Chill out.
When the taser's deployed and fails to subdue him, 3 officers discharge their
I mean, it's a little dramatic. Like, I've had family that worked in law enforcement. Like, yeah, you can fuck somebody up with scissors, but this is not a particularly physically fit man. He was momentarily disabled by the taser. Like, it clearly hurt. And, like, they have a nightstick. Like, my grandfather's brother worked as a cop. He actually had somebody attack him with a knife, and he took out his nightstick and smashed him in the arm, broke his arm, and he didn't have to shoot him. Like, and they all shot at him? Really?
The officers discharge their weapons, and Max falls forward onto the pavement.
It just seems a little bit dramatic. Like they're all just kind of scared pussies.
Shots fired. Officers are code 4. We have the suspects down.
Onto his back. Dispute with a friend.
He kept saying that he's...
Everything took a turn for the worse.
It says I found out she's still him, and he put a...
Alright, well, it's a little retarded.
Somebody who can't pop a nipper, but they're not going to care so much that they want the man that they're in love with to go through all these surgeries in order for them to look better.
No, they don't want that because that means it's unnatural beauty. So it's not good. It's not really good for anything. But that doesn't mean that looks aren't important. It's just obviously that acquisition process makes the looks artificial, makes them not genuine.
Yeah.
So.
Is it possible that surgeries can make you more attractive? I'm sure there are. But what if it's not needed? What if you're good enough as you are?
I have to go pee again. I'll be right back. All right. Fuck. Give me a fucking break. Holy shit.
Did you in fact think of that?
So do you think it looks
Same. Let's go back to your bodybuilding. Your natural physique, Greg. 99.999. You're arguably higher percentile physique at the time of you being natural, right before you hopped on steroids, than my looks level now. And yet you took just as drastic of a decision, that I am going through, and that's my current process. So what are we talking about, man? It's absolutely absurd to me that this guy just picks and chooses what's extreme, what's not needed, just according to his own, retarded playbook. Man, top of the top physique. Still took steroids, still, decided that was the best route to go in the current moment, which I don't judge him for. Like, fuck yeah. Okay. But I'm even lower percentile relatively in terms of looks, but I'm deciding to do this. But oh my God. Oh, I'm insane. Fuck. It's like, dude, give me a fucking break.
Important thing for women, like for them to get men.
Absolutely. Obviously, looks is the most important thing to get a man. Now, to keep a man, it's something different. Looks can get you in the door. The McLaren, the Ferrari, it's nice. You walk up to it. You want to go for a ride. But if you open the door and it smells like shit, it's disgusting. You don't want to go for a ride. And so that is analogous to your body.
Okay, but who's arguing that looks are the only metric for you to optimize, you stupid faggot? Like, let's be real. Let's be real for a second. That's not even an argument that I ever made. I don't understand. This guy argues with himself, or, maybe someone who's a scripter who's on his YouTube team is like feeding him propaganda. But at this point, I really don't even know what's going on? This guy seems like he's just delusional talking to himself. Have I ever made the claim that, no, you don't need to work on your personality, you don't need to be a good person, increase your income? No.
It's an amazing external shell, but once you look inside, it's horrendous. No one wants that shit.
What does it mean to be low inhibition?
And just being able to kind of do and say whatever you want without, spiking your cortisol, getting really anxious, just being free.
How can you be free when you think that you need to be perfect in order to be a proper man? He started using...
No, I just want to improve. I know I'm never going to be perfect, but I'm doing one drastic thing.
John Donatillers, how were you able to develop scientific literacy by reading? Was there a YouTube video you watched, or did you just Google shit? Watched YouTube videos, Googled stuff, did research on my own. Thanks for the donation, John.
I'm going to get better looking, and from there, my life is going to be marginally better according to my looks improvement. So I'm already at the point where I'm past diminishing returns. I'll fucking agree with you there. But, do I need to do jaw surgery to be fulfilled in life? No. But at the same time, did you need to do steroids? No.
Steroids at 14. He's on meth. He's taking retatrutide. How does that...
Retatrutide, like motherfucker can't even say.
I'll let you be free. In comparison, I don't have to put on my makeup before leaving the house. Who is more free? How is he...
Dude. Yeah, but you have to pin your testosterone. Okay, can you go on vacation? Could you, go a week with...
What happened during the workout? Did you pinch something? How are you now?
I had a boo-boo. I hurt my quad like a week or two ago, and then the same injury just flared up again. I'm feeling better now, It's a little annoying when that happens, but I'm feeling pretty okay now. Thanks for the donation, James.
Without your testosterone, Greg? No. Okay? How free are you, when your TSA on your trip to Cabo compensates for your testosterone dosage? Now your balls don't work. Okay? Now your dick can't even stand up. How free are you, buddy? How fucking free? So now this motherfucker wants to make the claim about makeup. It's like, dude, come on, get out of here. What happens if you go a week without pinning your ass with test?
Free and liberated if he's confined by his appearance.
Do you think alcohol is evil but necessary?
Absolutely.
Congratulations, you're banned.
Yeah, alcohol is the best way to block some of the neurotransmitters that are going to cause people to have anxiety. It's going to make you more sociable.
Bro is 19. What is the age of drinking in the United States?
I was
Oh, come on, Greg.
Bouncer.
Come on.
A little while.
Doing anything for Thanksgiving? Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. I'm not doing much, just gonna eat up the turkey and go to sleep. All I can do, lol. Matter of fact, gotta take the turkey out of the oven. See ya.
Wow, and that kind of helped me make...
Bro is underage drinking.
Kind of how I think about everything.
And even if he was, which he's saying he was, what happens if he's a bouncer and he gets in a face and they punch that titanium implant?
That's a good question. A lot of people actually ask, Clive, what happens if you get into a fight, if you get into a physical altercation after this process of the double jaw surgery? Well, that's a very good question. And it certainly won't be good. It's likely that the bones haven't fully healed from the osteotomy. You're absolutely right. It is a huge risk. But after things have set, after things have completely been, healed and, that process has been taken care of, then I'll actually be stronger, okay? It's titanium. The implants are titanium. So I'll actually be better off than if I were to not have had surgery. Cheezer said, I'll be your bodyguard. Cheezer, bud. I don't know what exactly you're going to protect me from. Maybe my dog.
What's he going to think then when he's no longer pretty?
Right, so I was noticing who was going home with the pretty girls every night.
I'm just kidding,
It was really about 1 to 2% of men, right? So it was people who were very tall.
Do you not think that has somehow influenced the
W Cheezer.
these surgeries?
Everyone's fan W Cheezer, man.
Rich and not good looking,
Good guy.
never truly loved her. Okay, this is a term called beta buxing.
Man, I wish that somebody could talk to this man and convince him, because I feel like he's reasonable. I feel like if he was presented with the proper data that he would believe it. Clavicular. It's possible for a woman to be with a man not because he's extremely good looking. He has a lot of...
Oh, really? That's a possibility? That's a outcome that's possible in this universe? Wow, I really would have never guessed that. But, Coach Greg, when we're talking about sociology, a society, what's happening across the board...
Would it help to take a week break? Allow the muscle a chance to heal?
Yeah, probably. It seems to be related to the lack of knee flexion that I have in my left knee. So I'm going to try to do a lot more stretching and stuff like that. But yeah, probably. Thanks for the donation, James.
Board, just because something happens, right, doesn't mean it's a, general thing. Doesn't mean it's the norm, okay? So it's the same thing as...
Kid Boot on $2, do you think it's retarded this nigga doing this after Charlie Kirk got killed? No. The likelihood of you getting politically assassinated is really low. Thanks for the donation, Kid Boo.
Is saying, all women are whores. It's like, well, all women might not be actually whores. It's a principle that's pretty universal across the society. So that's, I'm not necessarily making that statement. I'm just saying that's why people would make the statement to begin with. So, dude, fuck.
He's not exceptionally attractive, but he has that it factor. The je ne sais quoi, the personality. Perhaps he's funny, he's humorous, he's confident. And the woman just likes him for him, despite his appearance, despite the fact that maybe he's only a 5'6" manlet. There's women out there that it's not...
Make this your thumbnail, nigga.
Fine. There you go. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
Only about looks. Of course, looks is important. There needs to be a genuine burning desire for that man. But to say a woman can never truly love a man unless he's good looking, this is not true.
Yes, it is. Yes, it 100% is true.
Dan's talking about yesterday. He said that guys, if you don't have any money or any status, just always going to be worried about a dude with more money than you taking your girl.
It's the complete opposite way.
He's not dead wrong in that way. They're both right. Your woman, based on hypergamy, can go for another person who's either more attractive to you or has more money than you. Either or.
Choose your live, play games with them? Yeah, let's play video games.
But remember,
I'll text them
if they did take that woman away from you, they did you a favor. You should be thinking, thank you for showing me who she truly is, not thinking, oh, no, be a man and move on.
Didn't write or read her the news because she would jump on my back and make me mow the lawn. That's why I didn't write her that letter. Isaac didn't write her either, lol. Granted, some people disvid though.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Dodo. Thanks for the donation.
What you can get away with, the threshold goes through the roof as you get better looking, right?
Real.
You can do things that unattractive people can never fathom, right?
I mean, exactly. There is no bad man. There's only bad looking. You can essentially do anything if you're good looking enough. You're only a creep if you're not hot.
True.
If you're an attractive man, you can get away with almost anything. And if you
Real. And the copes need to end. Copes need to end. Let's get on and check out our comm. See what the fuck's going on. But that was a horrible video chat. Really fucking bad. Spark the stream up. Go live. Okay.
About a year and a half ago, I made a video about the disgusting and inappropriate behavior of YouTuber Caleb Hammer. Among the many things mentioned, the worst by far, were the
49 months. Well, thanks for the support, Stitching NoFap.
group text messages of Caleb saying he found a 16-year-old boy hot and wanting to know if he was gay so he could hook up with him. Things got worse from there when Caleb asked for the name of a 17-year-old boy in an Instagram picture of one of the group chats he was in. Once he was told the name of the kid, Caleb commented that he wanted to stick his in a hole of his. Any hole will do. When the group chat members told Caleb how gross that was, he decided to double down and said he would shove his right down his throat where it belongs. For those who didn't see the last video, none of these are allegations.
I was referring to people being assassinated for their politics.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, some people do. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Son Goku, donations, you agree with this training philosophy?
Your lifts are really impressive. How do you maximize strength? Well, thank you. I do appreciate that, and it will be going towards my ego. However, I have never once actually stepped foot into a gym and cared about how strong I was. Sure, I've done my 415 deadlift, my 5-plate pendulum squat, my 6-plate hack squat, my 9-plate leg press, all with perfect technique for 5+ reps, mind you. But not once did I ever do a single one of those sets with the intention of getting stronger. Now, wait a minute. What are you saying? Are you telling me you're not trying to...
That makes absolutely no sense.
Progressively overload? That's right. I'm not. My only intention is to train the target muscle to failure. Proper technique, full range of motion.
If progressive overload isn't... Like, what? This guy's just an idiot. Yeah, I lift weights so that I don't get stronger. It just happens. Okay. I don't know how he thinks muscle growth occurs. Thanks for the donation, Sengoku.
I spent Thanksgiving alone. Spent all day cooking and made 6 vegan dishes. Just finished eating the meal. While eating I watched some of those videos of hungry Palestinian kids crying. Was pretty epic.
Well, that's good. Glad you had fun. Thanks for the donation, Maxwell.
You know what I'm referring to, VG, also full Jeffrey versus Adonis Plaza.
This was not a communist country, but I'm just saying Britain voluntarily joined the war. It was a war that you were not involved in and you got in. But my question is, why did it destroy Britain? I don't understand. As the victor
Well,
nation.
it didn't destroy Britain.
Well, look,
have this
look
discussion.
outside.
Look outside.
We're in the city of London.
Hang on. There's Tower Bridge. It's the Tower of London. Magnificent.
Whatever. Yeah, great.
The ultimate game of sharks and minnows. There's the minnow, KH-101, their launch cruise missile. Here's the shark, F-16 Viper, chasing it down to knock it down.
Jeffrey wants to improve his looks, but he's not willing to be disciplined in his diet or training. And so young Jeffrey becomes blackpilled and says only your genetics matter. Come on, Jeffrey. Genetics? You have tits. You're growing like a woman. You even have an angry woman's voice, like Greg Doucette. Dark! Yeah, we'll buy your supplements, relax, man. It's too late. Jeffrey is officially blackpilled, and now he leaves hate comments on Hamza's videos. Adonis didn't focus on looks like a femboy looks maxer. He focused on health, fitness, and discipline. And he lives the most based life ever in his tribe. He suns his balls, he hunts, he feasts, he fucks. Because of his healthy lifestyle, Adonis ends up looking beautiful, like a Greek god carved in marble. Just look at him. I would pay $12.99 to see him naked. Usually when
Germany attacked Poland.
Oh, but not the UK.
No.
Oh, okay. Because that
But
detail does
they
get
wanted.
lost.
They wanted.
So
to
you
take-
voluntarily joined the war.
Yes.
Okay, right.
Poland was an ally.
I'm not defending Hitler, of course, but it's just a fact that you weren't attacked. So when you say that Churchill saved Britain, well, Britain got into the war voluntarily.
Well, not voluntarily. One
Well,
of our
what do you
neighboring,
mean?
well, one of our neighboring European countries was attacked, and it was quite clear that Adolf Hitler and the Nazis wanted to take over Europe. This was an existential threat to Europe and therefore to the UK. So
So
we had
you're
no
arguing
choice.
that he would have come for the UK?
100%.
Even though
Yeah, I think it's very naive to
your politicians and he and there's like not one person who was saying that in 1939-40.
Well, no, Neville Chamberlain wasn't, because he totally misread what was going on. Winston Churchill completely read correctly what was going on and came out of the wilderness to actually come and save us. I think without
I think
him,
you signed a treaty with Poland that
Like, I don't know why nobody's smart enough to call Pierce Morgan out on this. He plays these, like, stupid mind games. Like, why would we get involved into a war if it doesn't affect us? So you're in favor of Nazis taking over sovereign democratic nations? You're pro genocide, Holocaust, mass murder, totalitarian dictatorships. Like, you'd be fine with 99% of the world being a totalitarian hellhole as long as your own country is doing fine. Like, this... Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
And since it's a controversial whole GEVG, I think this is an aborty video to watch.
What's up, you guys? I'm very excited. I'm here filming my second YouTube video. It's all things specific.
Yeah, boring. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Nah, dude, watch the rest. He literally answers that question directly. Just blabbing about
Your lifts are
horseshit.
really impressive. How do you maximize?
This guy's a fucking gay dork.
Being that with each set I perform, I am going to elicit hypertrophy, because when you train to failure, you create mechanical tension, which stimulates your muscles to grow. Now, assuming my diet, sleep, recovery, volume, frequency, and all of these other factors are dialed in, eventually that stimulus I have elicited will then lead to actual growth in my muscle tissue. My muscles get bigger, right? That's what happens when you train, eat, and recover well. Therefore, using that new muscle, when I then train with the exact same weight, technique, and tempo over and over, eventually, instead of failing that 5th rep, I complete it. And then instead of failing that 6th, I get to 7. Wait a minute, 7? Holy cardio. Who is doing 7 reps of squats? Let me add 5 pounds to that and go back down to 5. You, my friend, just progressively overloaded. That is how you get stronger.
Okay, great. I know how to train. Thanks for the donation, Sengoku.
If you are interested, I should show you some yoga techniques that could help your mindfulness. Dancer emoji, cool face emoji, smiley face emoji, musical notes emoji, steam locomotive emoji.
I don't really need to do yoga. I already have a stretching routine. Thanks for the donation, James.
Hey VG. How many meals do you usually eat per day? And are they the same every day? It would be great if you can make a full day of eating video with the recipes and such.
I've already done that many times. I usually eat twice a day. And yeah, they're pretty much the same every day. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Yep, no turkey for those Palestinians.
Good, I guess. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Against Caleb Hammer. I reached out to Caleb for comment about these text messages, to which he replied that they were taken very out of context. So Caleb admits to saying all of this. As to what context is appropriate for a grown man to want to hook up with a 16-year-old boy, I'm not really sure, since he never responded after that. Despite Caleb's own admission that he said these things, no one seemed to care, and his own audience came to my channel and defended his terrible behavior. What makes this situation even weirder is that just a few weeks ago, Caleb had a guest on the show who made some incredibly inappropriate comments about the age of the women he was attracted to.
So you're a gooner, you go for the college. I mean, the younger the better, right? No. I would say, in fact, I would say no.
Biologically, yeah. When they're most fertile. Come on, Caleb.
Oh,
Come on, man.
If you look at the comments on that video, Caleb's own audience is talking about how disgusting this man is, and that the FBI and Chris Hansen both need to look into this guy. When it comes to Caleb's comments about wanting to hook up with a 16-year-old boy, though, nothing but crickets from his fans. Amazing how hypocritical people become when you say something negative about a celebrity they actually like. Caleb Hammer is by far one of the worst individuals on all of YouTube, and because his own fans rally behind his perverted behavior, he doesn't feel he's done anything wrong, and has only doubled down on this type of vile behavior in the year and a half since I last covered him. In this video, we're going to break down everything I've discovered about him since that time. In 2025, Caleb started live streaming regularly on his YouTube channel as well as Twitch. This turned out to be a huge mistake for him, since in normal videos, his editors can edit out the worst of.
Great thumbnail. Why delete leg day video? Did you rage? Also, booked a call with Todd Lee for $234 and I still haven't heard from him. Did you tell him about your sit-up scams and now he's copying you? It's like I asked for 234 sit-ups and he's done 0.
He might be busy. I don't know, but thanks for the donation, Gummy Gum.
Of what he says, but in live streams, it's all there for everyone to see. The best example of this was over the summer when Caleb's employee, known as Bitch Brandon, that's what Caleb calls his own employee, by the way, Brandon decided to live stream on Twitch, playing games that mostly kids play. Caleb thought this was funny, so he hopped on his official Twitch account and started making jokes about Brandon being attracted to children. First he stated that Brandon's kink is 12-year-olds, and then later stated that Brandon wants 10K to be pegged, but will take 10K to peg a 12-year-old. Making pedo jokes about your own employees from your official Twitch account is an incredibly disgusting thing to do. For those wondering if that was actually Caleb Hammer, we know it was, since Twitch banned his account after people reported those comments. But don't worry, Twitch doesn't actually care, and they unbanned him just one day later. In a later live stream after it became clear he was going to get banned on Twitch again, he commented about his first ban for his pedo jokes.
And I know they're going to give me more than a one-day ban now because I had that other ban for being a little stupid in my friend's chat. Oh, I just got banned on Twitch!
I wouldn't say that making pedo jokes is just being a little stupid, as Caleb puts it. Most people understand that type of behavior is incredibly disgusting and don't make jokes about that, but Caleb is a big fan of pedo jokes, so it's fun and games to him. Now that clip I just showed was from a different live stream where Caleb again showed how stupid he truly is and decided to scroll through Twitter on stream with no nudity filter turned on.
Opinion forever without any alternative perspective, and then that is their entire permanent worldview forever. They do need to go outside. The same thing happens on the other side, guys. Brands and ads and agencies and whatever, organizations, businesses, they don't, do not get me. Oh, come on. It's like my second week of streaming. What is happening?
Now that one you can just chalk up to
You look tired. Will this be a sleep stream?
Probably not. Thanks for the donation though, James.
Mistake, but you would think someone with millions of subscribers and years of making business content would know not to do something so stupid. YouTube never gave him a ban for that, by the way. If I or any smaller channel accidentally showed nudity on a live stream, my channel would get permanently banned, but once you start making enough money for YouTube, they look the other way and don't care what you do, as long as you keep making them
All
millions.
pedos deserve the death penalty, no ifs, ands, out, buts.
Yeah, they do. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
After multiple live stream bans, you would think someone would understand they need to start making better choices about what they do on live streams. But is that what Caleb did? Of course not. Caleb Hammer is an idiot. On one live stream, Caleb decided it was time to take it to the next level and start committing illegal acts right on stream. Caleb's audience requested that he react to a TikToker named Bradley on a budget who lives an extremely frugal life to pay off his over $100K in debt from going to culinary school. Bradley, who is openly gay, takes many extreme steps to save money and make money, and one of the ways he makes money is by selling adult content on OnlyFans. Caleb decided to purchase his OnlyFans and make fun of the guy's adult content live on the air to his audience. Bradley made a video responding to Caleb's video, so I'll show you a clip of that.
I guess this is the part where the OF part comes in, so.
Oh, what is he posting? I need to know. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, here we go. Fucking...
Mind you, this was a live stream, so other people were watching him doing this in the moment. This isn't just him doing this for fun on his own. He is broadcasting this. I joined OF 6 years ago because I was desperate. It's like you're making a joke out of something that some people have to do to make money. To turn someone doing what they do to make money into a joke for you to make money, to make content like this in front of people watching this as well just feels really wrong.
Let's keep going. Oh, there's the dick. There's... Need you to bust my huge 9-day out of my...
Jeez.
Enjoy some dirty talk role play.
Mind you, this is all behind a paywall. No one has access to this unless you pay for the subscription. So it feels even more invasive for the fact that he has subscribed just to be like explaining things and describing things and going through the details of what he sees, I think is so unbelievably wrong.
Now, it's one thing to just describe what is in an OnlyFans video, but Caleb took it a step further and multiple times played audio of Bradley climaxing and having intercourse to his audience live on stream.
Butthole exposed, unshowered for 7 days. Asshole. Just climaxed. Okay, very good.
Isn't that unbelievable? That's unbelievable. I would never do this to someone. This is just this says everything I need to know about him.
Okay, that's enough of it.
Right there. Right there. You could hear the bed creaking and there's which I don't even know if I could say that word on here. How he was able to upload this to YouTube and his page is shocking to me, saying that this feels like what you're doing is pushing. And then someone replied saying, this video should probably at least be age restricted because you're literally talking about this stuff. But he also put the audio in this video, which I agree, if someone under the age of 18 heard that or even saw him talking this way.
That's a little dramatic. I mean, how many fucking... Seriously, like, kids play Grand Theft Auto. Like, give me a break.
His response to those comments was, I have enough money to retire, I'm just working for fun now. That comment tells me everything I need to know about this person.
Now that is 100% illegal. You cannot play audio of someone's paywalled adult content to your live stream of viewers who did not pay
Yes, you can.
for that content. Bradley 100% has a claim to sue Caleb for what he did. That's on top of
No, he doesn't.
it being against YouTube's terms of service to put sexually explicit content in your videos or live streams. Everyone
Depends on what they mean by sexually explicit.
that was watching that live stream was exposed to X-rated audio without their consent, and it's quite possible that children were exposed to this as well. Unlike Caleb's previous clip, where he accidentally showed boobs on screen, this was 100% done on purpose and breaks multiple YouTube rules and laws by doing so. Was Caleb ever punished by YouTube for live streaming this? Of course not. Once you make enough money for the platform, they don't care what you do. In this next section, we're going to go over a number of members-only videos that Caleb has since deleted to hide some of his horrible and possibly illegal actions. Now, unlike Caleb, who isn't very bright, I know that I can't actually show video or audio of these clips since they have always been paywalled content, but I can describe what is in them. And I have saved copies of the video as evidence if Caleb does ever decide to sue me. There are also websites like Caleb Scammer, which have cataloged all of Caleb's content, including deleted videos.
This content is already boring me. This country needs to have serious discussions about reproduction.
Okay, well, sorry about that, James. Thanks for the donation.
So Caleb deleting these videos hasn't prevented them from being circulated and showing what a terrible person he truly is.
I don't pay for mine. Why are you paying, guy? It's so dumb. Also, there are sites where you can see what's behind the paywall for free.
Many of these clips have ended up on the Creepy Caleb Hammer subreddit. The clips of Caleb possibly committing a crime were quickly deleted by Caleb's legal team to try and prevent people from realizing what a disgusting human being he truly is. But you can see from the comments just how gross these clips actually were. As Caleb has threatened to sue me in the past, I have to take all precautions, and I reached out to Caleb's...
This guy is out of his fucking mind. Movies are paywalled content. People play clips of movies. This is not illegal.
Legal team for comment about the clips we're about to talk about. No response was given, but oddly enough, all the videos I mentioned in my emails suddenly disappeared, and any trace of them have been wiped from Caleb's channel. I'm sure that was just a coincidence though, and Caleb definitely isn't trying to hide his horrible behavior from being exposed. Now the first video in question was a 12-hour-long subathon Caleb Hammer did back in March. The subathon video itself no longer exists, but Caleb's team forgot to wipe all traces of the video from his channel, as the subathon trailer can still be seen on his page, but you can't watch the video unless you're a channel member. Most of the subathon is pretty boring up until the end of the video when Caleb's entire staff decided to participate in a roast of Caleb Hammer. At the end of the roast, Caleb got on stage and decided it was time to make some of the most inappropriate and assault jokes you've ever heard. Caleb targeted his employee bitch Brandon and went on a tirade saying that Brandon, a womanizer and a woman beater, you're basically Chris Brown if he let himself go and developed diabetes. The only thing fatter than your gut are the bruises you've left on your exes. Honestly, Brandon, you're collecting amazing sales for the company. Of course, it's not as impressive as the amount of kits connected to your name. But what the audience might not know is you've got a lot of tattoo ink on your body. I can't tell if it's because you're a cool person or if your body...
I remember when Naked Vegan Games visited.
I don't know what you mean by that, but thanks for the donation, James.
Is an obituary page of all your beaten to death exes. It's important to note that of the 15 or so employees that were there for the roast, no one laughed at any of the jokes. Even Caleb's own employees knew how disgusting and over the top it was for their boss to make these comments about one of his own employees. I think this is a big reason why the subathon was deleted from his channel, because he doesn't want channel members to see just how disgusting and revolting he truly is. Now, the next clip I'm going to talk about, Caleb deleted, in my opinion, to hide illegal activity. This clip requires a little context before I talk about the actual clip, though. Back in February, a young lady who went on a date with Caleb that had a horrible experience posted about him on the Creepy Caleb subreddit. Caleb made jokes about kidnapping and murdering her, and requested her to take a bath for him so he could watch her in the tub. On his own subreddit, he responded to her allegations, confirming most of it, while also completely trashing her. What's most interesting is the way he started his rant, though. Caleb states that, here we go with the over-sensationalism that we can't seem to get rid of since 2020. But this is why my creator friends privately recommended I get consent recorded. And we live in a single-party consent recording state, so after the insanity of last year, guess what? I did. That line about recording consent is interesting because in a previous post-show video, Caleb made a startling confession that he records sexual acts in his house. This took place in the post-show for the episode titled Financial Audit's Most Toxic Couple. In the clip, the couple admits to Caleb that they film themselves having sex, to which Caleb gets grossed out by, and then Caleb's producer, Lindsay, asks Caleb, "You don't film yourself?" To which Caleb responds, "It's actually been on security cam a few times, home security."
Kid be $20. How much do I have to donate to watch this full uninterrupted?
How many characters can you truly
Maybe $10. Thanks for the donation, Kid Boo.
Now, this response of Caleb admitting to recording sexual acts on his home security after he made a post telling everyone he records consent led a lot of people to believe that Caleb Hammer is recording the women he has sex with.
Yeah, I've played Lego Batman. There's a lot of progression glitches in those Lego games where something won't load properly and you get soft locked.
Without their knowledge on hidden cameras around his house. Multiple people who have been to his home have confirmed he has multiple cameras around his house, and Caleb even confirms it in his post as well. I reached out to Caleb's legal team to ask if that's what he's doing, because if it is, that's 100% illegal. Living in a one-party consent state allows you to record conversations. It does not allow you to record sex acts without permission of all parties. For whatever reason, a lot of influencers in the Red Pill community have been telling guys that you can...
We watching this shit, nigga.
Okay, we'll watch it. Thanks for the donation, Kid Boo. Dodo Donatillers thought he was going to give the money away to people to gain popularity.
Be cutting and maybe cutting out completely, but we'll be cutting income tax. Could be almost completely cutting it because the money we're taking in is going to be so large. And yet, other countries who have been ripping us off for many, many years, and many years they've just been ripping us to shreds for the next couple of...
They're never doing that. Is this the guy Joe Rogan had on his podcast?
Does the cure for cancer already exist? Right inside our own bodies?
The power is in you. The power is within us.
This man says yes, and he's not your average doctor.
We truly have a chance to change the paradigm.
His prior breakthroughs made him billions.
Yeah, the guy's a fucktard. I have no idea if he was on Joe Rogan. You are looking at a human brain tumor literally melting away in months. Okay. Sure. Yeah, sure. It's just so ridiculous, dude. The amount of people who are researching this, like, involved in finding treatments or cures for cancer, like, the idea that this could be, like, some secret, it's just fucking retarded. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Can record sex without a woman's consent, and this is legal when it 100% is not. If anyone does this, it's breaking several laws, and another YouTube creator, Jack Denmo, who tried to do this, was recently convicted of sexual assault. Needless to say, these are very serious allegations. After I reached out to Caleb Hammer's legal team, I noticed that the post show that had this clip has now been erased from Caleb's YouTube channel, and his lawyer went to extra lengths of having the Reddit video post that showed the clip taken down as well. Caleb Hammer's team is going to extreme lengths to make sure that no one ever sees this clip. Now, Caleb, or his legal team, could have easily denied this claim when I reached out for comment, but they never did. In fact, everything that I've said in this video I provided to Caleb's team, and they did not respond with a denial to a single thing in this video. The Creepy Caleb Hammer subreddit has attracted a lot of followers over the past few years. Many people who dislike Caleb, but also a lot of former fans of his. On his main subreddit, you won't find any criticism of him because you immediately get banned if you even give constructive criticism. This has helped the Snark subreddit to grow quickly, and has many posts from former guests who despise the way they were treated by Caleb. Several female guests have shown screenshots of their text messages where Caleb used his influence to try and date them, and then if they turn him down, he makes it clear to them they can't talk about him negatively because they signed a waiver. This kind of behavior is really gross, but the most disgusting story on the subreddit comes from a former...
Why do we have vaccines when we have ivermectin?
Because ivermectin is a anti-parasitic medication. Doesn't do anything to vaccinate you from viruses. Thanks for the donation, Corona Bro.
Roommate of Caleb back in college. Now, anyone can make up a story on the internet, but when asked for proof that he used to be roommates with Caleb, the poster showed an email for a lease renewal with Caleb Hammer's full name on it. Caleb Hammer's team got the post removed since it showed his middle name, and somehow that's private information, so the Redditor had to re-upload it with that info removed. So I believe that the information provided is accurate, or Caleb's legal team wouldn't have taken the time to get it removed. During an AMA, one person asked him if he ever saw Caleb do any evil shit, to which he replied, "Nothing evil that I've seen, but definitely some unhinged shit." When we interviewed him to move in with us, he told us he likes to diddle dudes. Should have been our first red flag. He was pressed further and said that one of the most unhinged things he saw Caleb do was he smeared his own shit in the bathroom when he moved out. When asked for more details, he said, "So here's the long story. I went out of town to visit some family, and he was supposed to take care of my dog. He was moving out like 12 hours before I got back, not due to a fight, he was just moving on. And when I got back, I found my dog laying in her own piss in her kennel, where she had clearly been for at least a couple days. I washed her up, cleaned the kennel, but it still stank throughout the house. So I went upstairs to check his space out."
This guy is an absolute piece of shit, and I hope he, I hope he walks in front of a moving bus.
And before I even turned my head to look in the bathroom, I knew exactly what I was going to see, which was his own shit smeared all over the shower. I went down to the leasing office and told them I wasn't cleaning it, and they needed to hire someone ASAP. The cleaning crew told me it was the most disgusting thing they'd ever seen. When I spoke to another of Caleb's roommates in the video I did on him last year,
this guy just tortured a dude's dog and smeared shit over the apartment, and he was just moving out. He wasn't even moving out due to a fight or anything.
I heard this story as well, so I do believe this is true. Smearing your own shit in the bathroom to piss off your ex-roommates is one of the most vile things I've ever heard someone do, and if true, just shows Caleb has been a disgusting human long before success on YouTube. Again, I reached out for comment from his legal team, and they never denied the claim to me. Now, a lot of the information in this video has already been known for close to 2 years at this point. Why anyone would want to associate with a man who makes comments about wanting to hook up with a 16 and 17-year-old boy is beyond.
Is this real VG? You know, it is kind of impressive how Russo hasn't totally collapsed yet and how they still have positive GDP growth, produce more artillery than all of NATO combined. You have to admit it.
GDP growth is just nonsense. They don't have any real GDP growth. Major medical breakthrough, cancer vaccine, molecular markers, blah, blah, blah. It's possible. Whatever, I'll believe it when I see it, but they don't have a real positive GDP growth. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Exactly, who treats a dog like that?
Yes, thanks for the donation, Dodo.
And me, but Caleb has continued to only grow on YouTube. Just recently, he was signed by a major Hollywood studio, creative artist agency, to represent him. However, they have a long history of dropping celebrities when scandals break. Considering Caleb's past and continuing behavior, I don't think he'll last there very long. Caleb recently had Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer on the show, and before she appeared on the show, I reached out to her team and told them everything in this video, and she still decided to go on the show. So I guess she's in favor of all the disgusting behavior shown in this video. Right. No, Brett, people hate Caleb because he's a disgusting human being that has confirmed he's attracted to 16-year-old boys. Brett loves to cover current topics, so maybe she can do a follow-up video defending Caleb again. She could title it, "Why Caleb Hammer Liking 16-Year-Olds is Based." I really don't understand why so many people would want to associate with such a horrible human being, but I guess many people just don't have any real
Yeah, none of them have any morals. It's all clout.
morals these days. Chris Brown is another great example. Despite beating Rihanna to a bloody pulp, he still makes millions a year from the songs people buy, and lots of women pay thousands of dollars to get to attend
Well, women love dudes who are violent and abuse women. That's why they date them.
meet and greets just to see him. If some celebrity provides entertainment to people's lives, most people will look the other way and excuse all their horrible behavior because ultimately most people are hypocrites and don't care what their idols do as long as the entertainment continues. Now finally, I want to end on the fact that Caleb Hammer doesn't actually care about helping people on his channel, and you can see that to be true by the sponsorships he gladly takes. Caleb loves to yell at people on the show for making stupid purchases and going into debt for the most ludicrous reasons, but then he turns around and happily tells his own audience to go into debt for an absurd reason, all just to push a stupid cash advance program.
Okay, let's be honest. Waiting for payday feels like watching.
The World Bank estimates Russia's GDP growth to be 0.9% this year. I mean, yes, that isn't good or a lot, but it is growing and they are not in a recession somehow. You predicted their economy would collapse 2 years ago and it hasn't.
They don't have positive GDP growth. It's all just bullshit because of the war. They're raising wages for people who are working in machine factories for the war effort, and that's like GDP is just the most stupid calculation at this point. It means nothing, and they don't have any real GDP growth, especially considering their rate of inflation. It's just absolute nonsense. And yeah, their economy is going to fucking collapse. Just taking a little longer than you'd expect. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo.
Watching paint dry on your last dollar.
Yeah, I like pumpkin pie.
But with Step's new early pay feature, you don't have to wait. With early pay, you can get access to up to $250 before payday and bridge the gap for when life happens. No whether you're covering rent, need gas money, or decide last minute to
ban live, Step's got you covered.
For those of you that are Caleb Hammer fans, you know that if a guest ever came on
Jesus Christ. That guy's a piece of shit.
Say broke anime. Not just iconic, not just powerful. I'm talking about characters so unforgettable that they rewrote the rules of the genre. You could probably count them on one hand. And today, I'm going to show you the one who did it best. The man who shattered expectations, who hijacked the story of Bleach itself. This is how Sosuke Aizen broke anime and why we still haven't recovered. Of the 42 characters I've covered on my channel so far, I honestly believe that after research, this is the most interesting character I've come across and the most fun I've had making a video. This dude is so insane that he stops the main character's theme song with a finger. When you talk about a character breaking anime, I can't think of a single feat more deserving. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. There are no less than 4 more ways he's done so, and it's about time we get into what makes him so special. Something that sets Aizen apart from many villains is we don't know much about his past. But here's the thing, we don't need to. He isn't shaped by tragedy, he's driven by philosophy. He looks at the world, rejects it, and chooses to rebel. You don't need a tragic backstory for that, you need conviction. With that said, his past still reveals important information. From an early age, he knew he was immensely powerful, and he struggled to relate to others because no one was on his level. This led to tremendous loneliness, but that isolation didn't destroy him, it refined him. It gave him a worldview most couldn't understand. There's another way of looking at it. The world as it wasn't enough for him, so he wanted to reach higher. He wanted to do what no one before him, not even gods, had done, stand atop the heavens. This ideology isn't made up. It's actually rooted in real-life philosophy that comes by way of
Dodo, any tellers, how do we measure the state of their economy if not GDP? When do you think it will collapse? It's been 3 years since they started the full-scale invasion. Also, can you watch this next? I don't know, dude. You need something other than GDP, because you can artificially inflate GDP numbers. That's basically what's happened to Canada. We've realistically been in a recession for the last 5 years at least. And the only reason there's any GDP growth at all, technically, is just because of the speculator market on housing. There's no real productive economic output increasing GDP. It's just something has gotten more expensive for stupid reasons, and they attribute, like, it's stupid. They can claim that's GDP growth. It's not. Insane theme park that killed 6 people. Is this the New Jersey thing? We can watch that next. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
a man named Friedrich Nietzsche. I probably butchered that. In short, Nietzsche...
Frank Tufano has new shorts. All right, let's take a quick look at that. Jeez.
These looks maxers telling you to get surgery, yet they never actually had surgery themselves, tells you all you need to know about them. They're obviously being paid behind the scenes by doctors or told by these very wealthy doctors to promote surgery. However,
or they're just stupid. They're all broke fucking teenage kids. Or at best, broke 20-year-olds. So they have this, like, dumb idea that, oh, celebrities get surgery and they're pretty. And then what's funny is you can look at somebody like Andrew Janik. He's never had any surgery. He just took steroids and just took better care of his health and, you know, dressed well and changed his haircut. And then he had a bigger glow up than, like, anybody who's ever gotten fucking surgery.
the reason they haven't gotten surgery themselves is because they know the truth and
No, they're broke. They can't afford it.
the risk and how many tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people have been botched in general by this horrific medical system. There's a reason none of these looks matchers have actually gotten surgery.
Yeah, they're broke. They don't get $5 million in net or gross income like you.
The only person I know in this space that has actually had double jaw surgery, multiple eye surgeries. I've had other types of surgeries and enhancements here and there, but it's absolutely insane to me that no one sees through these losers. And that's how gullible they think you are. They think you're gullible and stupid and will listen to anything they say because they're making money.
They're not making any money. If they were, they'd get surgery.
Frank looks like a degenerate wearing his Wi-Fi shielding burqa in public.
Yeah, he looks like a fucked up retard. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
Beverly Hills. What is the significance of Beverly Hills in surgery? Think of the court system. There's a whole state court system with multiple Los Angeles branches. This whole system is set up. The judges are bought and paid for. The lawyers are bought and paid for. If anything negative happens to you in this surgery, the whole system is set up to extract as much money as possible. So you're going to pay a lawyer with money, and that lawyer is going to screw you over. He's going to extract as much money as possible, pretending to be your friend, pretending to help you. But these doctors never have to pay a dime for the people they butcher. It's a disgusting industry, and all of these judges and lawyers and
doctors have to pay massive amounts of money for malpractice insurance. It's not uncommon for half of their income to be taken away from malpractice insurance. I was talking to a woman who was in medical school. I think she was going through residency. Her professor, who's a surgeon, told her, don't become a surgeon because you're not going to make any money. His gross income was $400,000. He only took home $200,000 after malpractice insurance. And he has to pay other taxes on top of that too, right? Like, you know, just basic income tax. So after all's said and done, he's probably only taking home like maybe $170,000-ish. Like, so no, it's just a hard burden of proof to prove medical malpractice. And just because you have a bad outcome from a surgery, that doesn't mean it's malpractice. So doctors pay up the ass for malpractice insurance. It's crazy.
doctors should be put in prison just for supporting the system and all being in on it. It's really disgusting, and there's a million reasons that you shouldn't get plastic surgery. That's just one of them, how the system is set up. You know who also should be in prison? And I'm not joking. The executives and higher ups at these review sites, whether it's Google or Real Self, even Yelp, all of these plastic surgery review sites and recommendations, even the moderators on forums like Reddit that have plastic surgery sections, all of these people should be in prison because they are being paid behind the scenes by doctors to promote positive reviews and censor bad reviews. And by doing this, they are literally sending the general population to these butchers. They think you're stupid and gullible and sending, the cattle to slaughter. That's literally what they're doing. These Google reviews, Real Self, all of these surgical review platforms, they are funneling patients to these butchers for money. It's disgusting, and the whole industry needs to be exposed. You know who also... Isn't it funny how these doctors never have the surgery themselves? Like, you...
Yeah, because they don't care.
go to a rhinoplasty and the dude has a huge nose. Or you go to get...
Yeah, because they don't care.
LASIK and the doctor's wearing glasses. Or you go to like an eye surgeon and they have like bulging, horrific look.
If you go to an exotic car dealership, the dealers don't usually drive those same cars. I don't know what does this have to do with anything?
Looking eyes. Or you go to a jaw surgeon and they have a receding chin. We should make all of these...
Not everybody cares, Frank.
Surgeons get the procedure themselves before continuing business with them.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So, let's force plastic surgeons who do hair transplants to get a hair transplant, even though they don't need a hair transplant. Like, what a fucktard.
We should force all of these doctors. We should say, okay, we're not going to get surgery with you unless you've gotten the surgery that your practice does. At least in regards to plastic surgery. And
That is the most retarded thing I've ever fucking heard in my life.
I mean, for other stuff, that's obviously different, like brain surgery and spine surgery and knee and hip implants, but there's something to be said about those too. Because even when those doctors need them, I'm sure they won't be getting them themselves.
What a dumbass. Like, this is such a dumb person.
Even in Forgan lands, Frank still finds a way to promote conspiracy theories.
Yeah. What a crazy, crazy person. He is just a baffling human being. He's, it's fascinating how he hasn't become, like, the internet's favorite lolcow. Because the amount of bizarre shit this guy says, does, gets up to. Fucking nuts. Pro Masters Bible.
Yeah, when you're a pro, you're expected to know.
Plus.
Look a little bit more full than this, though. I mean, he always looks great. I don't just tell him, look for Tamara to do well. And favorite. He wants that big open win. Joseph's the favorite. What's on his mind. Yep. Now, and he did. It was a show. This isn't the best.
Feel like I could mog them by the time I'm 50. Probably gonna do more steroids than them by the time I'm 50. Oh, God. Uh-oh. I have to poop. I'm also gonna have to pee. Poo-poo time's always pee-pee time. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah, I took a shit. Oh. Oh, man. It's been a rough couple weeks. Oh, really has. Oh. My hydrochlorothiazide should be coming in the mail tomorrow, and hopefully that can help control the water retention a bit more. It's steadily getting better, especially since I changed my electrolyte consumption and I've been drinking more, but it's just so fucking exhausting. I didn't drink quite as much water today. Let's see. I think I've consumed about 9 or 10 liters today. Yesterday I did 17. Dude, that like nearly fucking killed me. That was fucking exhausting. That was just a sickening amount of water.
Im Substrate Somon has not made a Loca compilation of Frank yet.
Yeah, not too many people know Frank. He is still very niche. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo. Let's see. Dodo Donatello's right-wingers are starting to hate Mr. Beast because of this, but I agree with them, but probably not for the same reasons. Announced partnership with the Rockefeller Foundation to reshape philanthropy. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't... It is so bizarre. I don't know why everyone has this perception of billionaires or these billionaire families where they're all like weird evil masterminds that are trying to like control the earth. You would expect if somebody is kind of a normal-ish, sensible human being, and, you know, they get born into a family where they have incredible, insane amounts of wealth, that they'd probably end up using some of that wealth to help people, you know, sort of like what Bill Gates is doing. Generally speaking, most people would kind of want to contribute to society and help a little bit. And that's what they do. But again, like, especially on the right wing, I've seen lefties have a bit of a different perception of the Rockefellers, but especially on the right wing, they literally think they're part of like some secret society that's like controlling the earth and shit. I had a friend who unironically watched Alex Jones, and dude, it's kind of crazy some of the shit you hear. It's going to bring 1 trillion Africans to the United States and Europe. Yeah, sure. I'm sure that's what they're doing. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Kenny Donatello, sir, I have more AI slop you must see. Let me see. Oh. Oh. Hey, Gum Gum. You wanna watch some AI cat videos with me? Wow. I love kitties. Kitties are so good. This is a nice cat. So big. Yeah, you're so big, Gum Gum. Love cuddling with a big kitty. I like these AI cat videos.
What's up, Diddy Blood?
I wish I could bring that dog to my worst enemy's house.
Had no pickles, and yet somehow there are pickles on my sandwich. Don't you meow at me. This is ridiculous. I drove all the way back here for this. Are you mocking me right now? I said no pickles.
That's funny. Thanks for the donation, Kenny.
Funny thing you mentioned Bill Gates VG, seeing how so many right-wingers are saying his COVID vaccine is the mark of the beast.
He didn't really have anything to do with the COVID vaccine. So I don't know where they're getting that from. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo. Oh my god. This is a big cat. He is so big. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love you, Gum Gum. It's so nice how they just come and lay on you. They just love cuddles. Yeah, kitties love cuddles. I love you, little kitty.
One of the few good things to come out of AI.
Yeah. Yeah, at least we get this. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
She believed that how we view morality has been corrupted. Once upon a time, those who were strong, fearless, and ambitious were seen as good. But over time, the weak, out of resentment, flipped the script, calling their own weakness virtue and labeled strength evil. So Nietzsche coined a new term, the Übermensch, someone who stands above modern morality, someone who rejects the current system and instead chooses to advance beyond it. That is greatness, and to achieve it, you have to struggle. To him, suffering isn't something to avoid, it's something to embrace. In fact, nothing encourages growth more.
I don't think that's what Nietzsche really meant by Übermensch. I think he was talking about a more nihilistic view of morality where you're the one who creates it and you impose your views onto the world. It's just a different way of looking at morality from a non-moral realist perspective.
Than suffering. Compassion towards the gifted is nothing but weakness that halts progress. In Bleach, we can piece together his beliefs from his actions. When a girl named Hiyori was sliced in half by Aizen's comrade, her friend Shinji says they need to keep her alive until Ichigo, the main character, can arrive. Shinji trusts Ichigo will make everything okay. This prompts Aizen to say trust is akin to weakness. Aizen has had many followers, and he has never once told them to trust him. In fact, he specifically told them to do the opposite. Why? Because he doesn't believe in it. He is so strong that trust with another comes with a massive power imbalance. To trust someone, you have to make yourself vulnerable, and that's something he refuses completely. The strong should never be vulnerable to the weak. Trust is a mechanism the weak use to offload responsibility because they can't handle it themselves, so they pass that burden to someone above them. That leads to kings, which leads to gods, a notion he wholly rejects. Aizen is the Übermensch, and we have many examples of him embodying this either directly or indirectly, and it's always to cause suffering to those with great talent. He manipulates Hitsugaya into impaling Momo, his childhood friend. One of his creations kills Miyako Shiba, traumatizing her husband Cayenne, whose own death scars Rukia. His actions toward Rangiku are the reason Ginichimaru becomes a Shinigami in the first place. He orchestrates Rukia's near execution in front of her friend Renji. And all of this, it's not even his most brutal example, which we'll get to. But the message is clear. If you don't grow from suffering, you're not.
As abstractains who think morality is objective.
Yeah. It's just a way of controlling people. I don't think anybody maybe did this intentionally, but like there is something about moral values where they do seem like they're beyond yourself. So, like, I could understand how people in societies could create an idea that there are moral truths, but it's so controlling. And this, like you can see how horrible atrocities can end up being committed, like, you know, the Nazis. And all the people who went along with it and then made these excuses, I was just following orders, and they'll do things even when they don't want to and shit. And, yeah, if people were just taught the truth, you're the one who creates morality, and it's up to your own strength to impose it upon the world. I think you'd probably see less shit like that happening. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
Not worth it. Honestly, the philosophical depth of his writing broke more than anime, it broke my brain. Much like Eren Yeager blew my mind as he showed the consequences of chasing absolute freedom, Aizen is the personification of unchecked ambition. The concept and its roots are compelling on their own, but the execution is on an entirely different level. His desire for greatness has led him to a specific goal. In his world, there are Shinigami, guardians of souls, and hollows, corrupted soul monsters. Aizen aims to transcend the boundaries between them, two opposing forces, and become something more. To do this, he works to create the Hogyoku, but creating it involves MK Ultra-like experimentation on unsuspecting victims. This philosophy goes against everything the Soul Society stands for. Their rules are rules. Follow them, accept them, and don't ask questions. But who made those rules? For what purpose? And more importantly, if those rules were made by the weak, why should the strong obey? Aizen questions everything and accepts nothing. Naturally, he despises this system. So he hides. He masks his true nature from everyone, plotting from the shadows and exploiting everyone in the process. And the genius of it all? The audience is tricked too. At first, the Soul Society appears cruel. Only one man is questioning things. Aizen. Most captains of the Gote 13 come off as cold or sadistic, yet he's kind and polite. Like us watching, he's wary of Rukia's execution and asks, does the punishment fit the crime? He confronts Gin, the coldest captain we've seen, out in the open. And then before you know it, he's found crucified. You think there must be a conspiracy. He must have known something we didn't. He did, just not what you thought. And that's when he breaks anime again, delivering us the greatest twist villain in anime history in a way that changed how you can write villains. Not only is Aizen alive, he's been manipulating everyone. I said it with Gin, another video you should watch by the way. The deception here is brilliant. Rukia heading to the land of the living? That was Aizen. The execution he publicly questioned? He was behind it. Why? Because for once in his life, Aizen's progress had stalled. His Hogyoku didn't work. There was someone else working on something similar, a fellow genius, Kisuke Urahara. And so he used Rukia as a pawn to get a hold of it, then ordered her to be killed so he could retrieve it from her corpse. The way he did that was awesome too. He went to the judicial branch of the Soul Society and murdered all of them, then used his Zanpakuto Kyokusui Getsu to impersonate them with its hypnosis ability. From there, he issued rulings that benefited his scheme with no one the wiser. Between Rukia's execution, Ichigo infiltrating the Soul Society, and Gin playing up his own guild per Aizen's orders, Sosuke was able to operate completely unnoticed. Not only was he behind what we were seeing in the Soul Society, he was even responsible for things we hadn't learned about yet, like why Urahara left being a captain. Before the series even began, Aizen realized his captain, Shinji, was wary of him, and he leaned into that, which allowed him to not only use Shinji as part of his experiment, but scapegoat both him and Urahara. But it doesn't end there. Hueco Mundo, another elaborate scheme. He used Ichigo's love interest, Orihime.
Creatine is good, and you should just take it continuously. It's not like a steroid where you need to like come off or have a lower dose or something. You should just take it
as bait, and when fellow Gote 13 captains followed to face off against the monsters Aizen created, he trapped them there while he dipped out to pursue his actual goals. This didn't come out of nowhere either. When we first see him, he's portrayed in a positive light. Meanwhile, his appearance is literally covered in shadows. The symbolism couldn't be clearer. He's the only one questioning orders early on, which is in his nature to do. We just thought it was for different reasons. When he became a captain, Momo became part of his division, and she grew attached to him. Then things get dark. She's the one who discovers his hanging corpse. She's overcome by emotion and lashes out at the assumed culprit, Gin. When Aizen's revealed to be alive, she's so happy she can barely contain herself. His response? Impale her. It's not only the betrayal of someone who believed in him, there's more. He intentionally became a father figure to her and made her reliant on him so he could use and discard her. And yet, if you asked him about it, he'd call what he did.
Anime recently has gotten so much better than Western animation, both in terms of TV and animated features.
Yeah, it has. Well, they're not, like, they don't have, like, intrusion of communism and feminist ideology and shit. So, yeah, it just tends to be better. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. The only thing really holding back anime right now is just cost of production. Because there were a lot of really good new season 1 animes, and then season 2, like, season 2s came out, and then they're just terrible. And they're all, like, filler episodes, not many unique frames of animation and just garbage. Like, Rising of Shield Hero was amazing. Season 1, Season 2 is unwatchable. Same thing happened with Jobless Reincarnation.
He knew that because she'd become so dependent on him, she couldn't keep going without him. She didn't grow from her suffering, so he decided to kill her to spare her from future despair. He does the same with Tosin. Tosin was one of his most loyal followers up until Aizen killed him. He literally says this was an act of mercy, because had he not slain his comrade, he would have had to accept a reality that would only bring him misery. This is one of the more complex and dangerous parts of his character. Even though he saw himself above everyone else, he knew exactly how to relate to them. He understood what they needed and became it. For Momo, he was a father figure. For Grimmjow, he tolerated the arrogance. For Tosin, he was a god. His ability to be what others wanted him to be for them is one of the biggest reasons why he was so successful. He really is the perfect combination of strength and manipulation.
Do you think the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated, straightforward enough of a moral principle to be considerably objective in theory? Or do you think even that one could be skewed somehow by some sick psychopath?
There are no moral truths. So it's entirely based on your own view or preference. So in terms of a rule that would be imposed by society, it's a very good one. Like in terms of creating an outcome you might want, like people being kind to each other, but there's no such thing as moral truths. It's just bullshit. Thanks for the donation, though, Tyler.
So it's fitting that there is no better metaphor for that than his own weapon, Kyokusui, a sword that gives him absolute control over your 5 senses, and all it takes to activate is seeing his blade once. There's no better example of how OP this is than when Shinigami attempt to attack him. Ichigo is watching them like, what the hell are you guys doing? And it turns out, they're all attacking Momo while Aizen is just there chilling. For me, it's such a fascinating concept to have a godlike being decide to battle with more psychological warfare than brute strength. Another detail I love is what Aizen does after creating the Arankar, hybrid hollow Shinigami beings that work under him. The strongest of these, the Espada, were each chosen to represent a different aspect of death. Once the Hogyoku has been perfected and he absorbs it, he decides he no longer has any use for them. This is symbolic. He is beyond death, which with the Hogyoku, he literally is. There's even a poem tied to his character about this very idea, transcendence. Because of the Hogyoku, he achieves his goal. In doing so, this breaks something else, Bleach's entire power system. The hierarchy prior to this was largely based on spiritual pressure and the strength of your Zanpakuto. After, the rules change. He doesn't only gain strength, he gains plot immunity. He can't die now. Even if you take the Hogyoku away, it'll come back on its own. He's a cheat code, and that's not all it broke. It destroyed anime discourse. The Aizen vs. Madara debate is unlike anything else in the medium, and it's not even debatable. It's still ongoing, and we have yet to recover from it. Aizen has also transcended anime in a way that he's kind of become a meme. He is the poster child for 4D chess moves, or you did that because I planned it from the start. Hell, I don't even know if we can rule out me rating this video was because he wanted me to. That expectation comes from this. Aizen, Bleach's big bad, planned out Ichigo's future from the start. He was there when Ichigo's parents met. They were a unique pairing, a Shinigami and a Quincy, sworn rivals, the latter of which contained a hollow inside her, and they ended up conceiving, so of course, Aizen took interest in their child. He set up obstacles to test him and forced him to grow. Exactly what we'd expect of someone with his mindset. However, I think there could be another reason. Aizen wanted someone on his level. The only person who could compare to him was Urahara, and Aizen hated him. Ichigo was his chance at a true kindred spirit, or means to an end. The only other people who could present problems for him before Ichigo arrived were Head Captain Yamamoto with his strength, and Urahara with his brilliance. He avoids the former and gets the latter exiled, and then has decades of free reign to continue his research. But Yamamoto will always present a problem, both literally and symbolically. So he creates a modified Arankar specifically designed to deal with him. This plays a role in defeating Yamamoto, and the interaction is fascinating because unlike with Momo or Tosin, Aizen shows clear disdain here. Yamamoto Genryosai, to you, I will not say I will not kill you. You are the very history of the Soul Society itself, and as such, you alone will die by my sword. This man represents everything Aizen despises about the Soul Society. He is the old guard, the status quo itself, and it's why he cannot be spared. But the job isn't done. Yes, he's transcended, but remember the other thing he wanted? To stand atop the heavens. If he can create a portal by collecting enough souls, he will literally be able to step foot at the Palace of the Soul King, a godlike entity within the Bleach universe. If he gets there, his goal is complete. But would that be enough? At one point he says the only solitude he's ever known comes from his blade. That could mean a lot of things. Maybe he wants an equal. Maybe his only way to combat his loneliness is with strength. Maybe he secretly yearned to be average, to not feel the burden of being exceptional. So if he does reach that final destination, what then? Will he be satisfied, or will it become a stepping stone to something greater? I don't know. These ambitions are what set him apart from most villains. He's not reacting to the main character, it's the opposite. Ichigo is reacting to him. him. He's the only one capable of stopping Aizen, so inevitably they clash. But Aizen doesn't hate or resent him. He doesn't see Ichigo as anything other than potential. Honestly, you could say he's not even really fighting Ichigo. He's rejecting the Soul Society and those who partake in keeping the status quo intact while attempting to aim higher himself. This is made clear as he loses. It's the first time we see him show real anger, and where is his anger directed? You'd expect it to be towards Ichigo, the man who defeated him. But no, it's toward Urahara, who sealed him, though that's not the reason why. It's because Urahara, like Aizen, is capable of changing the system, but chooses not to. Kisuke Urahara, I despise you. You possess such great intellect. Why do you not act? He asks how Urahara can sit back and allow the Soul King to rule above them. It's important to note this isn't specific to the Soul King. Remember, he rejects the idea of gods above him altogether. There might even be added disdain towards the fact that the Soul King was once great, and then allowed those weaker than him to mutilate him for their benefit. Probably the most disgusting thing you could do in Aizen's mind. And Urahara's response may be the most unacceptable one he could give. Kisuke knows the system is flawed, but he believes it's the best they've got. It directly conflicts with Aizen's view. Accepting something flawed out of convenience or apathy is something only losers do. To aspire to achieve something better is what victors do, and Aizen is a victor. Ironically, the prodigy who sees suffering as the best way to force others to evolve doesn't go through real suffering himself. Or maybe that's what his fight with Ichigo was. Though Gyoku acted on a desire to lose, maybe that was because he needed to suffer to truly ascend. Or maybe it was all cope from the beginning and he was simply acting on a loneliness he'd had his entire life. Or maybe it's something else entirely. I love how after everything, he loses without being redeemed. He doesn't repent, he never asks for forgiveness, he doesn't lose his edge, he just persists. He may have lost now, but that doesn't mean he's lost forever. Since then, he's been stuck in a chair he's tied to, but something tells me that's not going to be the end of his story.
Well, that definitely makes Bleach more interesting. I might actually consider watching it.
Welcome to Action Park, the world's wildest amusement park. And probably the deadliest.
Yeah, this is the New Jersey thing, right?
Guests regularly get launched off rides. They dislocate their shoulders and lose their teeth, or even their fingers. They break their noses, get electrocuted, and wade in snake-infested waters. There's more beer for sale than there is ice cream. Guests regularly dare each other to attempt things they probably wouldn't while sober. Often, they come close to drowning. On a normal day, the pool's lifeguards have to rescue up to 30 people. Every year, hundreds or more are seriously injured. Emergency services see up to 10 park-related incidents per day. The nearby hospital gets so overwhelmed that the park has to buy them extra ambulances. The park's unwritten motto?
Jeez.
No risk, no fun. Safety protocols are basically non-existent. The staff is mostly in their teens, and often intoxicated. And people love it. The park has over 10,000 visitors per day, around 1 million annually. Over the park's 18-year run, 6 people never made it home alive. Action Park also sported some of the wildest, most poorly designed amusement park rides the world has ever seen. Behind it all was a ruthless park owner who would stop at nothing. A con artist who flouted rules, laws.
Guan Wei, $20. My girlfriend just asked me to change my display name on Discord and include I have a GF in it. Lol, mental issues. Yeah, break up with her. Do not do that. Don't ever give in to a woman's demand. So either break up with her or just refuse to listen to her. If you give in to her demands, she's not going to respect you and she's just going to treat you more like shit. So she'll whine and complain and throw a hissy fit, but she's actually going to respect you more and the relationship's probably going to be better as a result, but that's kind of a red flag. I'd just dump her. Thanks for the donation, Guan Wei.
And the most basic safety measures. So what were the park's most dangerous attractions? How did so many visitors end up injured or dead? And if there were so many scandals, how did the park keep running for nearly 2 decades?
The founders of Fern, the guy you heard in the intro.
This is Eugene Mulvihill, known as Gene. He created Action Park. In the early 70s, Gene grabs Wall Street by the horns and gets rich on penny stocks. He knows everyone on the...
Have you seen that Fusi is doing bodybuilding competitions? He claims all natural, but what do you think? Natty or not?
Well, he's not a lifetime natural. So, like, given my experience with steroids, I don't think he ever would have had this physique if he was natty his whole life, and you absolutely maintain the benefits from steroids even after you come off. So you know, it is definitely plausible that he's doing this naturally. And it wouldn't surprise me. Like, he's had really severe mental health issues. It's likely that he was motivated to come off because, like, some people don't tolerate steroids well, even if they're just on testosterone. So it might have made him more agitated, or he might have had bad coaches, or never even had a coach and didn't understand how to manage like his estrogen and shit properly, and it just made him agitated and stuff. So he might have come off. So it's plausible. I don't know. Everyone has their own motivations for lying. He could obviously be lying, but it's plausible. He's got a pretty well-developed physique. His traps are popping. His legs are lacking, though. So it's plausible that he's natty, but, you know. I'm kind of leaning towards natty-ish. I gotta have to look at some of his Instagram photos. Like, he does look sort of flatter than you'd expect if he was using. He clearly dieted really hard. He's in great shape. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards natty. I think he likely did either come off completely, or he's on like a reasonable TRT dose, and he's considering that natty. He just doesn't have the mass that I'd expect him to have. Like, he used to be a lot thicker. Like, I don't think he was ever this lean, but when he was actually using, he was just a lot larger. So I think it is plausible that he came off completely. So far, with the steroids I've used, testosterone, Boldenone, and Masteron, I've had pretty good experiences in terms of mental health. Like, the testosterone just makes me feel better. I'm generally happier, more stable mood. Boldenone, I've just noticed it had a calming effect on me. Like, made me feel relaxed, even though a lot of people report having depression on Boldenone. Like, I did enough research to know that you have to control estrogen on Boldenone, so, like, I kept my estrogen within a reasonable range, and, I've been on Masteron for, like, a week now, and Masteron, to me, feels a lot like testosterone. It's a little more activating, where you definitely notice a bit more energy from it, but it feels a lot like testosterone when I take it. So I also ordered Anavar. I'm going to try that, you know, just for kicks. Also to see if it can help control some of the water retention that I've been having. But yeah, Fauzi might have just come off completely because it just doesn't work for him with his mental health issues. Especially considering he's, like, probably at least has narcissistic traits. And he clearly gets into delusional states of mind. Yeah, it might just not work out well for him, and he just came off. Yeah, like, he's talking about benching 225. Like, he used to be pretty big, you know? Like, not huge, but... Yeah, I mean... He's having a hard time benching 225. That would be really surprising. If he's actually still on steroids. Because even if you don't have a substantive increase in muscle mass, there's non-genomic effects that steroids have where they'll basically instantly boost your strength, even testosterone. The first day I injected it, I noticed I had more speed and power. So I think he probably is actually natty. Thanks for the donation though, Dan. I think it is consistent with veganism to give hypothetical self-aware AI rights, as it can suffer in that case and be used against will. Am I right? No. We're nowhere close to having AI that's... I don't even know what you mean by self-aware. I think what you mean is sentient, and there's no fucking chance we're anywhere close to having AI that's sentient.
My girlfriend just sneezed. Should I dump this stupid bitch or what? I think she crossed the line this time. Tomorrow her stuff will be on the curb when she gets home from work.
Okay, that sounds good. Gotta keep him in line. Thanks for the donation, Versified.
The stock exchange and is acquainted with the likes of Donald Trump. Rumor has it he knows people in the mob, too. On Wall Street, Gene starts a securities company and hires his old friend, the financier Robert Brennan. In 1973, the Securities and Exchange Commission shuts down their company for stock manipulation and securities fraud. Their reputation is ruined, and they need a new venture. Gene pours money into a struggling ski resort in Vernon Valley, New Jersey, a prime location less than 60 miles from New York City. He sees its potential to grow into a tourist hotspot, resorts, clubs, casinos, and malls, the Las Vegas of the East Coast. At the heart of it all, an amusement park unlike anything the world has ever seen. Gene begins transforming the ski resort. Never mind his lack of experience in running or designing theme parks, he makes up for it in audacity and vision. And his buddy and former business partner Rob keeps the cash flowing. Soon, Action Park is ready to launch. Here's an overview of Action Park in its heyday. It has 3 main parts: Alpine Land, Water Park, and Motor World. For teens in the tri-state area, braving the rides is a rite of passage. That includes the park's most notorious ones. And according to former employees interviewed in the documentary Class Action Park, many of these rides weren't even designed by actual engineers. Some were designed by Gene himself, others by unqualified amateurs.
Jeez.
But that doesn't worry guests like 15-year-old Derek here. We'll follow him as he takes on some of Action Park's key attractions, in order of escalating risk. Right now, he's 2 beers into his day, waiting in line for Battle Action Tanks. On paper, Battle Action Tanks is basically bumper cars. In practice, it's more like Wimbledon meets one of the hairier battles of the Vietnam War. Riders climb into camouflaged 4-wheelers protected by chicken wire cages. Each is powered by a motor, controlled with a joystick, and decked out with a working cannon. The goal is to fire tennis balls at other tanks. Around the arena, spectators man cannons of their own. If they hit a tank directly, it blasts into a tailspin. This is Derek's first ride, just a warm-up. The tennis balls are fired at an insanely fast 160 kilometers per hour, and employees have to run onto the battlefield to collect stray balls. Many riders love taking this opportunity to target them. If anyone scores a direct hit to an employee's groin, the crowd goes wild. Gene loves watching this gladiatorial combat. He's often found soaking up the battle vibes from the sidelines. It's also where he likes to assign his chronically late employees as a punishment. According to Class Action Park, many of the staff aren't trained professionals. They're teenagers, some as young as 14. That's on brand for Action Park. We're ignoring rules.
Dude. $92, let me see.
On.
VG, gig owes a lot of money to a lot of bad people. I will accept 22% of all stream revenue and cash payments sent to my swamp. VG, please. My life. Fuck, dude. Whoops. I didn't oops. I pressed the wrong thing. I turned on the VPN.
Seconds before I went on, right now I heard that Sarah Beckstrom of West Virginia, one of the guardsmen that we're talking about, highly respected, young, magnificent person, started service in June of 2023, outstanding in every way. She's just passed away. She's no longer with us. She's looking down at us right now. Her parents are with her. It's just happened. She was savagely attacked. She's dead. She's not with us. Incredible person. Outstanding in every single way, in every department. That's horrible. As you know, seconds before I went on,
Well, Trump's going to do stuff with Venezuela. Trump wants us to believe Putin wants peace. He is making a fool out of Trump. Yeah. Putin said that Russia will not sign any documents with the current Ukrainian leadership, claiming that Kyiv made a strategic mistake by not holding presidential elections. Yeah, he's one to talk. Oh my God, dude.
Every generation thinks us.
I don't care about her. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Appreciate it. Yeah, her videos are just fucking boring, and she's kind of stupid. And I also hate the way she talks. She's fucking annoying.
Rules is part of the park's identity. Plus, teenagers are cheap labor. They don't ask questions and are often happy to test Gene's newest death-defying inventions. Some even affectionately call him Uncle Gene. In the 80s, amusement parks in the US are a pretty unregulated industry, and Uncle Gene loves to exploit a good loophole. For instance, he claims he isn't running amusement park rides.
You know, since dislocating my rib, I still get pain in my rib when I cough or sneeze. I'm pretty sure it popped back into place, but I'm a little worried I'm going to be doing something and then it's going to like pop back in fully or something and it's going to hurt like hell.
But sporting attractions, so he doesn't need official permits. And for a while, the state of New Jersey doesn't really intervene. All they want to know is that the rides are insured and, quote, currently not on fire. So the park shifts nearly all responsibility onto its visitors. For instance, when it comes to go-karts. This is the Super Go-Kart. It's gas-powered and designed for racing, but more commonly used for crashing. There are 20 in total. They may look small, but watch your neck. They accelerate like a spooked horse. They're known to cause whiplash and broken bones. They're supposed to max out at 32 kilometers an hour. But sometimes the staff likes to override the speed controls, enabling the carts to reach more than 80 kilometers an hour. The really daring ones take a special souped-up model. Some employees even take these mini racers for after-work spins on the nearby state highway. Derek jumps into a Super Go-Kart. It's pretty fun zipping around, until he sees a lady losing control. She hurdles off track and smashes through a fence, then through another fence, and then she collides with a tree. Finally, one of the employees hits the kill switch. Derek needs a break and stumbles into the big white festival tent right next to the circuit. He's only 15, but he has no trouble whatsoever getting his hands on a beer. Maybe it helps him muster up the courage for the next attraction. This is the Speedboat Lagoon. Visitors hop inside speedboats with a small plastic frame and a very powerful engine. They're designed for open water, but crammed into a small, man-made lagoon. Looks chill. If only.
I was playing what is it called? DCS. I really like DCS in VR mode. The only problem with it is it's just super slow to load. So I kind of got frustrated playing that game because it's really slow loading. So haven't played it in a while. But yeah, I've had fun with flight simulators. IL-2 Sturmovik is also fun. Again, it's sort of weird. Like it's kind of advanced, and a lot of the missions are just a little too realistic in the way that they start off boring. So you'll be flying for like 10 minutes or something until you actually get to the mission zone, and then you get into a firefight.
Everyone knows it's full of snakes, gas from leaky boat motors, and dead fish. Derek quickly realizes no one's here to pilot the boats. They're here to crash them. He's just about to climb in when, bam, another boat smashes into the side of his. It knocks the wind out of him, and he topples out of the boat straight into the murky lagoon. The water is greasy. Is that motor oil? Disgusted, he fishes himself out. As he does, something slithers across his thigh. He chooses to not think about it. Somehow, action park rides make it through mandatory state inspections. Since amusement park regulation is so new, inspectors don't always know what they're looking for. State law requires that Gene take out liability insurance, or what might be considered dangerous. But Gene doesn't believe in insurance. Too expensive, too much bureaucracy. He'd need to insure the accident-prone Action Park for at least $2 million a year, with premiums rising every time something goes wrong.
Jeez.
So he simply starts his own insurance company, London and World Insurance, headquartered
God.
in the Cayman Islands. That allows him to produce fake insurance documents while paying premiums to himself, and using the company to launder money. But while Gene may have been a visionary when it came to chaos and ruthless money-making, he definitely had room for improvement when it came to taste. Today, your walls can actually look good with Bisplate. Bisplates are high-quality metal posters. They're bold, durable, and super easy to mount. You just stick a magnet to Gene's visionary ideas. One of them was the Bailey ball. He doesn't have a permit for it yet. Today is testing day. The ball consists of two plastic spheres, one nested inside the other. The outer sphere is covered in office chair wheels. The inner one is mounted on ball bearings, so it can spin independently of the outer shell, keeping the seat upright. Attached to the seat is a race car-style harness. The Bailey ball wasn't designed by an engineer, but by a janitor who long dreamed of breaking into the theme park business. Gene loves it. The Bailey ball is supposed to roll down a homemade, zigzagging track, 182 meters of glued PVC pipes. This is the test pilot, Frank, a regular employee that Gene convinced to do the job by slipping him $100. The idea is that Frank will roll down the hill, sitting upright, and come to a gentle stop at the bottom of the mountain. Here's the state safety inspector, sent to rubber stamp the ride. As long as it doesn't scream instant death, the Bailey ball will be cleared for use by the public. Frank is strapped in a ball, ready to launch. For the first few meters, it's all going according to plan. Frank's rolling smoothly, and he's still upright. But nobody accounted for the laws of thermodynamics. The problem with PVC in the hot sun is that it expands rapidly. The plastic track that was supposed to give the ball direction has bulged and warped. Frank doesn't even make it through the first switchback. It hurtles off the track and starts rolling down the hill, rapidly gaining speed. The safety inspector can only watch, frozen in horror. The ball hurtles down the hill and flies off park grounds. It's now headed for the road. Cars honk and screech to a halt.
That is not worth $100.
Somehow, the ball avoids any collisions, and eventually, it crashes into a pond. Frank emerges, dazed and sputtering, with blood on his shirt, but alive. The inspector does not grant Gene approval for the Bailey ball, but plenty of other rides do end up going live. By the mid-70s, Action Park boasts about 50 attractions. Around 1 million people visit the park every year. It's a genuine boost for the local economy. At the time, even Donald Trump considers investing in Action Park, but apparently the concept is too crazy, even for him. The park's ads run non-stop on New York television, luring in city kids eager to blow off some steam. Some do it by flying through the air on a Tarzan swing. Imagine you're holding 6 meters of rope. The pool beneath you is 4.5 meters deep. The Tarzan swing may look like a simple rope swing, but later on, it'll be one of the first rides the state shuts down for good. Braving this swing is a rite of passage. Mess this up with a belly flop, and you'll never live it down. Derek isn't worried. He's a great swimmer. He grabs the rope, swings far out over the pool, and lets go. The second he hits the pool, everything shuts down. He's just plunged from 35 degrees Celsius air into bone-chilling 10 degrees Celsius water. The spring-fed water is so cold, he forgets how to swim. He flails, stunned. A smirking lifeguard hauls him out and slaps a wristband on him. Scrawls across it are the letters CFS, shorthand for can't fucking swim. Later, he'll learn that the cold water was such a shock to one swimmer's system that he went into cardiac arrest and died.
Jeez.
Cases like this should be covered by Gene's.
I remember one time I went to Lake Ontario. I used to live right by the lake. And we had like a cold week. And then it warmed up. It was really hot out. It was like 30 degrees. But the water hadn't warmed up yet. And I tried swimming. And it was so cold, I literally froze up and I couldn't move. Like if you can sink and you just dive in cold water like that, I could see how somebody would die.
His liability insurance, but London and World Assurance, the company allegedly backing Action Park, doesn't really exist. In 1984, the authorities catch on to his scheme. He pleads guilty to fraud and is slapped with $300,000 in fines and 3 years probation. He's also ordered to sell the park. According to Class Action Park, Gene doesn't have the slightest intention of doing that. So far, he's been renting part of the property from the state of New Jersey. To provoke officials, he reportedly stops paying his bills and ignores their letters. After some back and forth, New Jersey agrees to sell him the land for a steal, allegedly just to get him off their backs. Gene wins and goes on to further expand his park. This might be the single most ludicrous ride in Action Park. Gene himself designed it, on a cocktail napkin. It's a ride to be endured, not enjoyed. It's called the Cannonball Loop. The idea is simple: a water slide about 5 stories tall with a 360-degree loop at the end.
My dono. Missed my shitty dono. I didn't get any new dono. Who did you donate under? Yeah, the last dono I got was Dodo. I don't know if Streamlabs is fucking up again. What name did you donate under? 'Cause I didn't get any.
But the park keeps having to tweak the design, since the
I
crash
feel
test dummies
really
it uses for
sick.
testing tend to emerge headless. Derek watches the guy in front of him enter first. A few seconds later, he's spit out into the pool. Head first, but alive. That's good enough for Derek. The lifeguards hose him down. Friction is the enemy here. Momentum is everything. This isn't just about fun. He can't afford to lose any speed, or he might not make it through the loop. Derek's heard the horror stories. Guests who dropped straight down inside the slide and slammed face first into the fiberglass, finally emerging into the landing area bloodied.
Should be under Kenny. It was right when your stream shut down. Let me refresh. Oh, yeah. Weird. Okay, it must have been from the VPN. Kenny Donatiller's pops clapped that night.
How did you get us out of that? How the fuck did we not get in an accident right there?
Yeah, if a woman was driving, that would have been a crash.
You know why I pulled you over? Yeah, doing Mach 1 down a county road is not exactly legal. License and registration. Hey! Hey, stop!
Yeah, I love those cat AI videos. Thanks for the donation, Kenny.
And toothless. And the guests who followed them, who emerged covered in cuts and bruises caused by other people's teeth still embedded in the slide. Derek's getting cold feet, but he can't back down now. Not after the Tarzan swing incident. He shoots into darkness. It's fast, brutal, and then he hits the loop. He crawls out dazed, bleeding from the elbow. But at least he's alive. The authorities only require Gene to report serious injuries, but according to Class Action Park, that leaves it up to him to decide what serious means. No one knows how many people have actually been hurt at Action Park over the years. When victims or their families sue the park, Gene almost always refuses to settle. Instead, he drags them to court, knowing that trials are often expensive, tedious, and emotionally exhausting. Many families aren't willing to go through that. Gene reportedly wins the vast majority of these cases. On the rare occasions he loses, he stalls on making any payments to the victims, sometimes until law enforcement orders him to. U.S. Marshals allegedly come knocking on his door at least twice.
This guy's such a dickhead.
This is the Alpine Slide. It's an 820-meter-long concrete track winding down the mountain, which riders descend on small plastic sleds equipped with a handbrake. At first glance, it looks like good, clean fun. It's marketed as safe for grandparents and infants. But in reality, the Alpine Slide will rack up more injuries and lawsuits than any other ride in the park. The sleds have two speeds, painfully slow, or what employees call death awaits. Riders switch between these two states with a simple handbrake, if that brake happens to work. The concrete course makes for a rough landing, especially for guests wearing only swimsuits. Derek rides the ski lift up the mountain. Teenagers overhead are spitting on riders and throwing sleds, trying to hit any unlucky riders below. At the top, he climbs onto a janky plastic sled. There are no helmets, of course, just pictures of nasty scrapes to warn you not to go too fast. It's basically like riding a skateboard down a long, steep mountain. Halfway down, he realizes he's coming up on a mother and her young child, fast. He's zooming along at nearly 50 kilometers an hour. He brakes hard on a sharp turn that shoots him off the sled. He flies through the air and lands hard. He's mostly fine, just road rash, a battle scar he can show off later. Not everyone will be so lucky. In 1980, the Alpine Slide claims Action Park's first life. 19-year-old George Larson is hurled off his sled and slams his head against a rock. Allegedly, this rock had already been flagged for removal, but Gene and his team ignored it. That sounds straightforward. The park is to blame for Larson's death. But Action Park argues it wasn't the slide that killed Larson, it was the rock. So technically, the ride itself is safe. According to Larson's family, the press has fed a version claiming George rode the slide at night in the rain. But the accident actually happened during normal operating hours and in good weather. The case never goes to court. Action Park quietly settles with the family for $100,000. The Alpine Slide stays open.
The fuck?
Hey Richard, I won't send you a Bible verse this time because last time you wished I would burst into flames with your mind. I just want to know how you've been. What you been up to. Your physique is god tier. Also, would you drink a beer with a friend?
No, I don't drink alcohol. You know, I've been fine for the most part. I've just been dealing with this really bad water retention. I think it's a reaction to the Boldenone I was on. So I stopped taking Boldenone. It is slowly but surely getting better. but it is a pain in the ass. I feel sick right now, though. But, been good for the most part. Thanks for the donation, Mac Daddy. Oh, I really don't feel well.
The deadliest ride in the park might not be what you'd expect, and that might have been what made it so dangerous. Not the souped-up go-karts, not the deadly looping water slide. No, the attraction that killed the most people was the wave pool, also known as the grave pool. It may look harmless, inviting even, but this is no kiddie pool. It's a...
You know, these must be like some of the most retarded trailer trash people going to this park, because I can't imagine somebody deciding to settle out of court for $100,000 for your 19-year-old son dying. Like, that is nuts. That's not even that much money. Like, I could see $1 million at least, but $100,000 for your son dying? Like, what the fuck?
Massive pool that can hold about 1,000 guests. It's about 30 meters wide and 76 meters long. Giant pressure chambers generate artificial waves up to 1 meter tall. They also produce a strong riptide. The deep end reaches 2.4 meters. Derek doesn't know all this. The water sparkles, music plays, the pool almost looks relaxing. He wades in and is immediately sucked under by the current. He surfaces, gasping, to find hundreds of people thrashing around near him. It feels like an artificial ocean, so a lot of people expect salt water, but they're wrong. The pool is filled with fresh water, so it's less buoyant and easier to sink in. And half of the people in it are drunk. A guy near Derek is flailing around.
Yeah.
Derek sees one lifeguard dive in for a save, then another.
You know, it's funny, my dad almost drowned to death when he was a kid. He was at a public pool, and the lifeguard gave instructions where if you can't swim, you're supposed to give a signal. I think it was like you put your hand up in the air and then you open up your fingers, and then they'll come and rescue you. And my dad thought he could swim because he swam in like shallow pools before, and he like treaded, you know, kind of like doggy paddled a little bit, but he went into the deep end. He realized he couldn't swim. And then, like, my dad is just kind of a calm person who's a rational thinker. And he just remembered, like, oh, I'll just give the signal for the lifeguard to help. So he gave the signal, and the lifeguard thought he was just joking, because the lifeguard figured, oh, there's no way a kid would act that calm if they were drowning. So he gave the signal, starts drowning, sinks, nearly fucking dies, like chokes on water. And then after like a minute, the lifeguard's like, oh fuck, he's been down for a while. And then he swims, grabs him out, has to like compress his chest, resuscitate him, make him like choke up water and get him breathing again. Fucking crazy. It's funny how I may not have existed because a lifeguard was so fucking stupid. Like, just nuts.
Check out this Marvel beat 'em up that's releasing this Monday. You might like it.
Oh, I'm gonna get it for sure. Yeah, Cosmic Invasion looks sick.
Blast.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play as Venom. Venom looks really cool. I also like Wolverine, obviously. But yeah, the Venom in this game looks really cool. And She-Hulk. She-Hulk looks dope. Ghost Rider's cool too. Hey, I think they have Rocket Raccoon. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play this for sure. Thanks for the donation, Shins.
Behind him, someone is pulled out on a stretcher. They're the second one today. The pool is deceptive, even for strong swimmers. The waves come on unexpectedly, and panicked swimmers often clog the exits. 12 Red Cross-trained lifeguards are stationed at the pool at all times, but because the pool is so densely packed and the water so murky, it isn't always easy to tell when someone is drowning. Throughout the 80s, 3 people drowned in the wave pool, a 15-year-old boy and 2 young men aged 18 and 20. In the end, 6 people die at Action Park. 3 in the wave pool, 1 in the Alpine slide, and 1 in the Tarzan swing. The 6th victim was an unlucky kayaker who capsized, stepped on a live underwater wire, and was fatally electrocuted. With that many injuries and deaths, the park should have been shut down long ago. So why did it stay open for so long? Over the years, families, journalists, and authorities repeatedly put pressure on Action Park, but Gene somehow always managed to dodge any form of responsibility. According to Class Action Park, rumor had it friends in high places were looking out for him. Gene had close ties with local business leaders and politicians. Action Park was a major employer in the area. And Rob, Gene's generous money man, was always just a phone call away. Whenever he was under attack, Gene fought back, sometimes with sketchy methods. One journalist alleges that, when Gene was faced with criticism, he retaliated, phoning her boss and ultimately getting her fired. And when a man Gene owed money wanted to claim it, Gene reportedly threatened to hire a Russian hitman to kill him and his family. Gene went on like this for years, dodging his responsibilities and delaying settlement payments. He embodied the Reaganomics spirit of the 80s, minimal government intervention, and a belief that deregulation was the key to innovation. But that changed in the 90s. The lawsuits kept piling up, earning the park its nickname, Class Action Park. Attendance started dropping. By 1996, mounting legal battles, medical bills, and safety mandates finally caught up with Gene. Action Park shut down. Millions of dollars in debt. Gene went on to complain he had lost more money on the park than he ever made. Since then, the park has repeatedly changed hands and names. Today, it's just a water park, with some of the old attractions still in place. But Action Park itself is history. Gene Mulvihill died in 2012. Obituaries hail him as a visionary entrepreneur. A politician from New Jersey said his mother had given him the perfect name, Gene, like the true genius he always was.
That guy seems like a complete fucking asshole.
What's up, everybody? IFBB Pro Brett Wilkin here, and I'm officially happy to announce that I'm starting my own YouTube channel after many requests from you guys. In the past, Martin Fitzwater and myself had one when he lived here before he moved away, and we had a great time doing it. And the joints are warmed up, the elbows are good and clean, ready to roll. So what we're gonna do here is a little bit of a tricep push down. This is just a variation. You can either start with whatever you have available. I'm doing here, we have this nice little prime handle attachment thing. And then I have these individual IPR fitness handles here that you can just go directly down and straight through. So your hands are vertical.
I saved my son in a similar way, but was watching him like a hawk and kept telling him not to go to the deeper area. Didn't listen, jumped right in, fully clothed, wallet and phone on me. I was always an extremely good swimmer. I know my parents, I think once were worried about me swimming in the deep end, but they saw me swim and I was just extremely good and they didn't worry. And I remember a few times when I was at like camp or something, some of the people there didn't like that I'd swim so far out and deep because like a lot of kids end up drowning, but I was always a strong swimmer. I never had any close calls swimming.
You're almost karate chopping through with your tricep and then pinning at the bottom. So this is just a great angle. You'll see we're coming back, fire through the triceps and pin it down. So this is just great something to start with. A lot of activation, a lot of blood in there, and then we'll get into our heavier, bigger movements. So let's get rolling. So if you notice here, there's no movement in the arms. So we're not going back and forth at all. The arm is pinned to his side and he's just bending at the elbow. So we want to fully load the tricep head and he's just driving through and pinning at the bottom. So no arm motion, no swinging, no body movement.
I hope you get better with the water retention, man. Even though I have a different worldview from you, I genuinely do appreciate you. You're very intelligent and insightful. You have the best of both worlds. Intelligence and you're the freaking Hulk, lol.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is getting better. I've been drinking an absurd amount of water for the last 3 days, and I'm like at my fucking limit. I think that might be why I'm feeling sick right now. I drank 17 liters yesterday. That was fucking nauseating. That did help to get rid of a lot of it, but holy fuck. And And the first day I did that, I was like filling up like a fucking water balloon. It got way worse before it got better. And then it suddenly just started rushing out of me like crazy. And I've had terrible sleep the last couple nights because like every 30 minutes I have to get up to piss. So it's fucking exhausting. Hopefully it's like again a little bit better tomorrow, and I have a diuretic coming tomorrow too, so hopefully that helps. And like I've used it before. I've been prescribed hydrochlorothiazide before, and I didn't have any issue with it. There is like there are risks with taking diuretics, but I didn't have an adverse reaction before. And Isaac's here too. I'm gonna tell him like, you know, if I need help or something, call an ambulance. So at least I have somebody here who can help if something bad happens. But yeah, hopefully this just ends up relieving it. It's weird. I end up having more water retention after I work out. So like in the morning and everything, a lot of the water retention will be gone, and then I'll work out, and then after the workout, I'll start kind of filling up like a balloon again. It wasn't nearly as bad today as it was yesterday. Yesterday I was feeling it really fucking bad after training. Today it was much more mild. So it's getting a little better. But yeah, I want it to be done and over with. I'm pretty goddamn sure it's the Boldnone. I started growth hormone injections again last night. Because, like, I figured it can't be the growth hormone. I've been on it for, like, since August, and I never had water retention issues from it. And I had less water retention today, even though I had the growth hormone last night, so I'm just going to keep taking the growth hormone. And I feel way better on growth hormone. Growth hormone makes you feel fucking amazing. But yeah, you know, it'll probably resolve itself. Thanks for the donation, though, Mac Daddy. High potassium can help get rid of salt and water retention. Yeah, I already have a high potassium diet, and I don't really consume much salt to begin with. And I actually made the mistake of reducing my salt intake further. So apparently that's not a good idea to do that. That may help relieve some water retention in the short term, but what ends up happening is if you radically reduce your salt intake and massively ramp up your potassium, you'll likely make the water retention worse because you're not actually helping to reduce angiotensin, which is what's causing the water retention. So what you want to do is you want to keep the salt normal, and you want to keep the potassium normal, and just drink a lot to lower angiotensin, and then that will help relieve the water retention. And I did that. I was consuming basically zero, like not zero sodium, but really low. It was well under a gram. And my potassium intake was super high, and that did help get rid of some of the water retention initially, but it didn't really change anything. And I was actually getting irregular heartbeats from it. So I upped the sodium again. I think I'm consuming about 2.5 grams now. And just started drinking way more water, and that helped to get rid of more of the water retention than just reducing the salt and upping the potassium. And my heart's like, I don't have any problems with my heart beating funny, which is dangerous, obviously. It's just the amount of water I've been having to drink is just fucking crazy.
I hope you get better with your fat pregnant retarded nigger fat bloated tummy. Maybe if you stopped being a degenerative retard and followed the sugar boy diet and followed his protocols. Yes, capital H in the his, because he is our Lord and Savior, nigger.
Alright, well thanks. Appreciate the donation, dude. I'm not blasting gear. You fucking idiot.
It's solely in the tricep.
Sir.
Yeah, Brett is fucking uber jacked. I think I was seeing him do dumbbell lateral raises with like 80 pounds.
Lighter and just do 10, wear them out. Then I'm gonna drop it down to like half the stack, 120, something like that, whatever is on there. And then I'm gonna slow it down. So
when's my next push session? Should be Saturday. I'm gonna try breaking my all-time bench PR. I'm gonna try to get 315 for 10. I got 315 for 8 last session, and it was fairly easy. And that was with my elbow still being kind of fucked up. So I think if I really push, I can get 315 for 10, which will be an all-time PR.
So it's pin, you control the stretch back, the eccentric part, and pin it through. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3 stretch, pin through. So this is gonna be good. You wear it out first with pre-exhaustion, and you finish it off with the stretches.
Yeah, I'm running 500 milligrams total right now, 300 test, 200 Masteron, and that's not that much. Normies are fucking stupid. Yeah, I'm taking an ARB right now too. I'm on telmisartan. I'm taking 80 milligrams. I actually started taking it because of the water retention. I was at 110/70, then the water retention started hitting me, and my blood pressure only got up to 120/80. My blood pressure's naturally very low. It was actually like dangerously low before I started doing steroids, and the steroids brought it up to a normal, safe level. So even with the water retention, my blood pressure's only gone up to 120/80. So far, the telmisartan doesn't seem to have actually lowered my blood pressure, but I felt better on the telmisartan. Like immediately I could tell I felt like I was weighed down or something, and then the telmisartan just made me feel cleaner, like, and faster. It's hard to describe. I did notice when I was doing cardio today, I did feel a sharp drop in my blood pressure. So like I was getting lightheaded, and I felt that like weird feeling you get from low blood pressure. I don't know if it's from like the water retention finally resolving a bit. That might be part of it.
LMFAO retarded nigger cope, you have a fat obese pregnancy belly when MFC's 50-year-old boyfriend is fully carbed up, fully hydrated, and has six-pack lean abs without even flexing. You're just a fat worthless pregenant large njiga did Isaac make you pregnant?
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the donation, 21st. Yeah, dude, before I hopped on, my blood pressure was fucking ridiculously low. The lowest reading I had was, I think it was like 75 over like 43, something like that. I was fainting all the fucking time. I'd even faint in my chair sometimes. So, it once it got to above like 100 diastolic, that's when I stopped fainting. So I think like 110 over 70 is pretty much perfect, where I don't have fainting issues. 120 over 80 is perfectly fine. But yeah, like once it gets to over 100, yeah, systolic, I seem to be fine.
Good. Let's get it. Good. Come on. Up. Yes. Up. Up. Good.
Yeah, I also had like really fucking horrific water retention after I tried some underground Cialis. I was holding on to an extra 20 pounds of body water. I went from 225 to 245. I weighed myself in the morning when I got up. So it's not like it was at the end of the day after I had food or anything. When I got up in the morning, I was 245. So I knew I had an extra 20 pounds of body water, and I was like just filled up like a fucking balloon. And I rarely ever go to the fucking doctor for anything because I know they're fucking stupid and useless, but it was just such a problem. I went to the emergency room. I have a wrist cuff blood pressure monitor, which is much more accurate if you're like a big dude, because the arm cuffs, if you have a lot of muscle mass on your arms, the amount of pressure required to actually crush your brachial artery is way higher. The reading only went up to 120 over 80. Theirs said like 140 over like 85 or something. So I go see the doctor, and you know, they run a bunch of tests. Like, she's a fucking dumb bitch. They said they wanted to measure my creatinine to measure kidney function. I told her that doesn't measure kidney function, and it's going to read high because I'm on creatine and I work out like crazy. And then she wouldn't listen to me. She like insisted on getting that blood work anyway, and I'm like, okay, it's just fucking stupid waste of time. They did a urinalysis, which made sense. I didn't have any protein in the urine, and I obviously didn't expect to have any kidney issues because I had my cystatin C tested, and that was all normal. So the doctor comes out, tells me like, okay, yeah, the urinalysis came back fine. Your creatinine's elevated. Then I literally explained to her again that literally means fucking nothing, and I explained to her why it means nothing, and then she's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Fucking bizarre that doctors don't know this shit. And then I asked her, could I like get prescribed telmisartan, because like according to their blood pressure reading, I was hypertensive. And on top of that, I have the water retention and shit, and the telmisartan should help relieve some of the water retention. And I also told her, since I'm on steroids anyway, it's probably a good idea to just go on telmisartan. She fucking refused, and her reasoning was, I'm not in hypertensive crisis. She said for my age, having a blood pressure reading of like 140 is safe. And she said if your blood pressure was like 180 or higher, then yeah, I'd prescribe it. And I'm like, what? Like, you could literally die at any second if your blood pressure is over 180. Like, why would you wait until I'm literally about to die before you prescribe me blood pressure meds? And then she's like, yeah, well, I don't think it's really going to be an issue because, like, you know, you'll probably have the water retention go away on its own if you just stop taking the Cialis. And the water retention was going down when I was in the hospital. I was pissing a lot of it out. And I was like, Oh, okay. You're a dumbass. Like, there's no point in me talking to you. So, yeah, that's why the black market exists. Doctors are fucking retarded, and they won't prescribe you the medications you need, and even if they do prescribe you meds, they're probably the medications that aren't the best, or you shouldn't be taking, or they won't give you the right dose, or they won't know how to manage the side effects. Doctors are the biggest fucking useless fucktards on the planet. I can't fucking stand them.
Maui is broken.
Let me see. No, I think he's working just fine. That's what cats do. He's just doing cat stuff. Thanks for the donation, even though. That's ridiculous. Crisis means you're destroying your kidneys. Yeah, I know. It's fucking stupid. Like, even mild hypertension over years, that's gonna fuck up your kidneys. So, like, it's fucking insane that they're like, yeah, we're gonna wait until you're near death to, like, give you anything. Dodo Donatellers, what is Isaac working on presently? He is a programmer, so what is he doing exactly right now while you react to 80% YouTube brain rot for money and sleep and watch anime for 90%? Remaining of the day, Isaac is doing hard intellectual work. What is he making? Think he's working on AI sex robots. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
There we go.
Especially, so what I'm doing is like, some days I'll go, tricep, bicep, tricep, bicep, tricep, bicep. Some days I'll go tricep, tricep, bicep, bicep. Some days I'll do triceps all together, then biceps after that. So. An incline.
I fucking hate incline curls. Like, I can't stand them. I swear. They're the most, like, one of the most useless, stupid bicep exercises. The only thing dumber than incline curls are those dumb lying flat curls that Mike Israetel does. Holy fuck, those are even more useless. I didn't know anybody could come up with a more useless, stupid exercise, but leave it to Mike Israetel. I thought it was interesting, and, like, there's that research on the stretch, stretch under tension stuff. I tried it, and I gave it like a month. They do nothing. Like, they're just fucking garbage. And incline curls just suck too. Like, you can't load them particularly heavy, and for biceps, I don't think the stretch under tension really does anything. And what I find too, it's like impossible to progress. Like, you'll try to do double progression with them, and then you'll just get stuck at 8 over and over again for months. Like, you just won't be able to progress. And even when you try microloading, like adding a fucking quarter pound each side, like, it still happens where, like, okay, you're just stuck at 8, and then you're like, okay, fuck it, after like 2 months, and then you add like a microplate, and then you get 7. Like, they're just shit. You can't fucking progress on them.
Big fat bloated nigger pregnant belly syndrome, which is what you have, is a symptom of HIV/AIDS. Did Isaac have sex with Magic Johnson before he came in your ass, nigger? Why are you so bloated when you could be on the sugar water diet like him?
Well, yeah, that's... I don't know. You're just retarded. Thanks for the donation, dude. Exactly my experience with incline curls. Yeah, they're just fucking stupid. I don't think you necessarily need to load biceps super heavy. Like, some people get a really good response training biceps, with lighter weight, higher reps and shit. But I'm thoroughly convinced like the idea that you're going to get any more muscle growth with stretch under tension when it comes to biceps specifically, absolute fucking worthless. They need to be loaded heavy to an extent, and I think you should probably avoid too much of a stretch on the biceps because you'll have no strength and you need some leverage to be able to lift the weight up. With something like chest, shoulders to an extent, quads, you know, that stretch under tension I think works, like back, definitely. But yeah, biceps, like any exercise that emphasizes like the stretch under tension, absolute fucking worthless.
Fine curl variation, you can do it with dumbbells, or you can do it with this setup with like handles from a cable. What I'm using here is the CAS handles. You can buy those if your gym doesn't have them. I just really like them because they're very thick.
Doesn't even look like he's doing incline curls, just looks like he's doing seated curls.
And you can really focus on...
Yeah, there you go. Sure enough, he's like not even really doing incline curls.
Not so much the grip, but it's more just about the move.
Brett is fucking ridiculously jacked. This guy has some of the craziest quads I've ever fucking seen.
Movement and the motion, as well as the supination. So when you're coming through here, a lot of blood, get a lot of pump in there.
Yeah, like sure enough, he's barely doing an incline curl. It's basically a seated curl. So if you're gonna do these, like you're not even really doing a fucking incline curl. They're just seated curls.
So it's a really good isolation exercise. Again, this is great to start with. Get a lot of blood, get a lot of pump in there. Today we are doing them in this, you know, this Star Trek Smith machine, they call it. I like to actually do them on there because it's kind of a different tension. You don't have to go too heavy on the weight. It just feels really heavy.
That's weird. That's an odd choice, doing him on a 3D Smith machine.
You can do it anywhere. You can have a bar.
Kinda off topic, but I used to be addicted to those nicotine pouches and would take 24 milligrams of nicotine per use and my blood pressure would jump up to almost 170/90. I quit, and after 3 months it's a little lower than 120/80. I'm sensitive to nicotine.
That's funny. I'm the exact opposite. I've been a nicotine fiend where I'd go through like a massive box of nicotine lozenges in like 2 days. And I checked my blood pressure, did not change. And then just because I didn't want to spend so much money on nicotine, I'd go off for like a week or week and a half and wait to like just get another box. And I'd check my blood pressure, 0 change. And like my blood pressure was ungodly fucking low when I was, you know, natural. And I was doing a fair bit of nicotine, and like again, that it just did not raise my blood pressure. It does absolutely nothing to my blood pressure. So it's funny, I'm the exact opposite. It doesn't seem to really be vasoconstrictive for me. And I also don't notice it impacting my cardio either, because if something's like really vasoconstrictive, you'd expect it to reduce your endurance. But on or off nicotine, my endurance is just the same. So it's kind of funny how, you know, these things affect people differently. But yeah, I have no effect from nicotine on my blood pressure. Thanks for the donation though, Mac Daddy.
Would you say preacher curls are also kinda useless?
No, preacher curls are good. I've definitely gotten good results from preacher curls. I think, especially if you do them with a barbell or an easy curl bar, they can also help develop your forearms. You just have to be careful when doing them, because if you load them super heavy and you don't like control the weight and shit, you can tear a bicep. Especially depending on the angle of the preacher curl. If it's if your arms are kind of more out straight than like down, that can also put like way more tension on your bicep. So you have to be careful loading them. But I find preacher curls are definitely useful. You know, you just can't load them too heavy and you got to be careful. I've gotten the most bicep growth from just dumbbell curls. Chin-ups are also really good. Like, for me personally, just loading the biceps very heavy and, you know, trying to get, like, you know, between the 6 to 10 rep range, I've gotten the most growth. Some people are different. They prefer, like, higher rep, you know, work with biceps, you know, around the 15 or 20 rep range. But, yeah, I'm thoroughly convinced incline curls are just fucking useless. Thanks for the donation, though, Commissioner Gordon.
Barbell, easy bar, just do some kind of standing curl. So he's gonna finish doing curls here. We're gonna immediately go over to the preacher curl. And then this is where it gets really, really tough and really, really good. So we're gonna put the dumbbells together. So think here in your head, the butts of the dumbbells come together and you keep them there. So you're applying inwards pressure the entire time, controlling it down, back up through the bicep head. So this works the peaks really, really well. But the main thing is just stay focused, keep the tension inward, pushing them together, and then squeeze really hard at the top. So watch him here, right here. Good. Yes, sir. Yep. Squeeze to the top. Aim for your head. Aim for your head. Good. Squeeze. Oh my God. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing skull crushers and overhead extensions after I do push downs, because I think that's what ended up aggravating my elbow. I just go straight into skull crushers or overhead extensions without warming up the elbow and shit like that.
Okay, moving on to a skull crusher variation I like to do. I showed this recently on a hostile video, but I haven't shown it on here on any YouTubes I've been on, so I'm gonna show you this today. This is something I've been doing the last couple months. I really like it. I can feel it more because I feel like I'm isolating the tricep more. As you can see, we have linked up some straps. So you're actually gripping the straps. That's gonna be your point of contact. So you're going through the range of the motion of a skull crusher. It's just gonna stay vertical with.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. If I ever end up getting a Smith machine, I might try that.
In the plane of the Smith machine, and you're just controlling it down through the stretch, holding, gripping those very tight, and extending through that tricep head.
Up. Yes. Good. That's all you. Up. Good. Up. There you go. Up. Good.
You turn around and going right into some dips here. So this is a dip machine, a pre-core, yeah, high carrying, just a normal dip machine. So we're gonna work our way up here more. One thing you can't really see on.
I really like the dip machines for tricep work. Normal dips, I don't really feel it in my triceps much, but the dip machines really target the triceps well. But yeah, I don't get how people consider just normal bodyweight dips like a tricep exercise. It's always my chest that ends up getting burnt out first.
On camera, what's different in our off-season training is the tempo is a lot higher right now. So this workout's actually going, a bit about an hour in, maybe a little bit more. We're almost done, but it's really, like I said, it's bang, bang, bang. So that's why I don't have to necessarily do too much cardio. It's good to have a great metabolism, but also I like to train at a good pace, especially leading into the show. Train hard, train fast, and that's where I get cut out that that extra detail. I'm doing a front double bicep pose. So this is where the competition things.
I've done these before. I don't really like them. They're okay, but I'm not really a big fan. And you can never do these in a commercial gym. Like, good luck ever having both cable stations free so you can do something like this. Just never works out.
Come into play. You want to,
dude, his fucking arms are fucking crazy.
You want to lift weights. You want to perform exercises that you're also connecting with your muscles that you're going to use in certain poses. So this one's great. So that's what I wanted to do last year. I'm super pumped. So it's really, it's really about concentrating, making sure we're doing the right contractions here, as well as the right squeezes. So as you'll see here.
Well, the most I've done with overhead extensions is 155. Currently, I think I was doing 140. So it's just always the case. Like, it's with everybody I've seen. Once they start doing tricep work heavy enough, it just fucks your elbows. And literally all these dudes, they all use elbow support of some sort, like either wraps or sleeves. So I have been using wraps when I do like the heavy tricep work. But even still, like, I think I just have to warm up my elbows before I do some of that stuff.
I'm like 6 weeks.
I really like his workout videos. Yeah, definitely want to get a couple more leg machines, like the pendulum squat. Man, I fucking hate how I have that knee problem. But I'm gonna start, like, really stretching my knee every day. And I think I'm gonna sit into, like, a squat for a prolonged period of time to, like, because I think that's what's causing the problem with my quad right now. My left knee has a limited range of motion, and then when I start lifting, the range of motion increases, and the muscle isn't used to it, and it's kind of like putting a little too much tension across the quad when it's not used to getting stretched like that. So I think every day after I do cardio in the morning, I'm just gonna, like, go into a deep squat and really stretch out the knee and the quad, and then do some, like, deep tissue massage with a massage gun, really stretch it out, and then hopefully that can kind of fix it. I have been making good quad gains despite some of the little setbacks, though. Like, steroids definitely fucking help with just growing regardless, even if you can't get in great workouts. All right. I wanted to play games tonight, but I'm just feeling too sick. I need to just lie down and relax. I'm sick of drinking so much fucking water, too. But, I do have a day off tomorrow, so I should be able to start stream nice and early, and, it'll be a chill day tomorrow. Don't really have to do anything, so we'll play some games tomorrow for sure. But hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. And I will see you all tomorrow. Yeah, I meant a day off training. Like, yeah, I know I don't have a real job. But I'll see you all tomorrow. Sweet dreams, everybody.